So,
All right.
it's all good on Astroback because like I mean
Yeah.
you've talked about it, so
Yeah.
you got my but
But yeah, so the first news
mhm.
of the week that we're going to talk about,
I
Planet
already know what.
Coaster 2, baby, got a release date for November 6th. So 2 conclusions here. No, 3. I got 3, cuh. All right. I got 3 conclusions. Number 1, ooh, boy, is November 6th going to be a great day. Oh my goodness, it's going to be one. And you know what? I think it's in that period that I could probably request off. We'll have to see. But anyway, second conclusion. October is safe. October is free. Dragon Age, your old mine until Planet Coaster drops. Third conclusion, though, is I'm gonna have to pray to Jesus to figure out a way to convince myself to play Stalker, Assassin's Creed, and Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Bro, you might as well cancel your Mario Luigi Brothership pre-order. It's literally November 7th. Like, you might as well cancel it.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah, I know. I know, buddy.
Man.
You don't gotta tell me.
Pooper. That's it. All right, listen. Planet Coaster 2. If I could just tell it how I really feel, you know, I wanna like write it a poem and just explain how much I love Planet Coaster 2.
That Berlizzi video is just in my head. That video I always send you. Is that dude serious? That's literally what I would send you.
All right,
now.
listen. On a real note, I'm super hyped for Planet Coaster 2. You already know this is like my most anticipated game period.
Yo, that's crazy because like now that it comes out November 6th, my most anticipated game of the year comes out a day after.
I get mine one day before you.
Why do you gotta make it a comment? See, you're the problem with the gaming industry, all right? You're the problem. Even though I'm guilty of that more than you are, but I'm calling you out right now.
All right, listen.
No.
Okay. So, yeah. I'm excited for Planet Coaster 2. I'm not really going to get into it. I'm sure many people listening probably don't really care about Planet Coaster 2, but I'll make you care. All right?
All I'm going to say, terrible date. Should have been December.
Agreed. But there is a deluxe edition.
It's not terrible.
But
I think for you, it's a little. It could have been worse, but
man, just like 2 weeks later would have been.
Yeah.
But there is a deluxe edition.
You're doing this for thumbnail potential. Like, stop it. There's been some pretty funny faces in here. There's been some pretty gold stuff. I should have.
Yeah.
See, like the last face you did, that could have been a face for like PlayStation. You know, like that whole debacle, because we're gonna talk about it. PlayStation Pro. Like you had a smirk face. Be like, yeah, PlayStation's failing.
The PlayStation 5 probably not gonna buy it. Is that what?
Last time I heard on a video, this guy was gonna buy it. So I don't know. We'll get to that later, fellas.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Planet Coaster 2 is coming out November 6th. Let me know in the comments. Are you hyped for it? But all right, we're gonna do.
Not be buying it.
We're really.
I'm just not a fan of Tycoon games, but if this guy's a fan, I'm happy because, listen, fellas, when your boys or women, when they get the games they want, it should make you happy because if they're happy, I'm happy. And like I enjoy, even though I don't like Tycoon games, I just can't get into them because I literally just get bored of those games very easily. It's perfectly fine. And I'm glad this guy gets them. If that's what he loves and he enjoys and he's happy, then I support all the way. And who knows, maybe I'll play it with him for like a little bit. Not like as much as he will because I'm sorry, Mario Luigi Brothership comes out right after, and not even close. Just go away. But no, I think it's. I'm glad it's coming out. Relatively sooner than I would have expected, to be honest. Like, I was thinking November, December.
I knew it was gonna be November. I just literally knew it was gonna be November. I told my mom like 20 times on every walk we go on, and we go on a walk almost every night. I just always start talking about Planet Coaster 2. Like, it's just like for every walk, bro. Like, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I feel bad for your mom because in her head she's probably like, "Oh my God, my son keeps talking about Planet
No, because now
one time about cleaning his dang room."
Well, no, because now she's gotten to the point where every day she asks me, "Has it gotten a release date yet?" And so I haven't even told her today yet that it got a release date. So I'm gonna have to tell her that later. But yeah,
hey man, I'm glad to see that. Me and my mom talk every morning when I go to work. Like, we be talking about music because music is my number one thing, dude. Music's my number one. I love video games, but golly, music is a different breed to me. We're talking about how Taylor Swift is like the most overrated artist of all time.
I didn't say it, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't say it.
Overrated female artist of all time. I'm not gonna say most overrated artist of all time. That's a little crazy. There's a lot of them out there, but I think for how popular she is, come on, fellas, I can name like so many female artists that are better. Like, come on. But we're not gonna get into that. Okay.
I have a question. What are your thoughts on Sabrina Carpenter?
Oh, I think she's great. I literally like. I heard one song from her, like 7 years ago, and I knew who she was, so I'm not surprised she popped off this year. But I like her. Like, I think she still has a lot of like improvement to do, but I think her like transition over the year is bigger than what Taylor Swift has ever done. So I'd say Taylor Swift just went backwards. I think she started off like good and she was more versatile, and then now she's just more basic. Like, she's just good. She's just good. Like, that's it. Like, literally just good. Like, I'm not saying she's bad, but she's not amazing. Like, I'm sorry, fellas. Get ready for my music channel. Because, whenever that happens, you go hear more type of stuff like this.
Look, I got no opinion. I don't listen to that music. That's not music. I don't either, but like, I pay attention to it because I like to stay up. I don't even pay attention. I listen to hip hop and only hip hop, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I was listening to rock today though.
Yeah, like the VMAs happened. Taylor Swift won like 7 awards.
All right, Playerway Podcast. We're talking about geek gaming here. Come on, here we go. All right, here we are.
Like, coach dropping tonight, so staying up till 11.
Oh, Kendrick drop. Yeah.
9/11, which is crazy.
Oh man. There's a lot of our artists dropping tonight, actually. All right, anyway.
Let's get it. I'm sorry.
So listen, guys. We're getting all our energy and hype out right now because the whole like probably the next like 3 hours, who knows, is gonna be nothing but pretty much net negativity. Honestly, I mean, there's no other way to put it, to be honest with you. But first, before we get there, I thought it'd be fun. I saw this Twitter post the other day, and I thought this could be a kind of fun discussion.
Bro said he's done with Twitter, but still on it.
When did I say I'm done with Twitter, cuz?
Didn't you say you were mad? You were like, I'm so done with Twitter. Like,
what?
Remember? You sent me that a couple days ago.
Oh, whenever the PS5 was announced, I'm like, yep, and I'm off of Twitter for today.
No,
or
after
something.
that, because I think they started comparing it because they were like, oh, I can't wait for Nintendo to come in and show that the $400.
Oh, no, I just posted like an essay just stating how I felt about the PS5 Pro. That wasn't me hating on Twitter.
Oh, well, I
don't really get mad at Twitter anymore. It's just not a thing I get mad at, to be honest. But
I thought you were upset because they were talking about that limited edition Xbox. They're like, oh, $600.
Oh, yeah.
It's limited edition, bro. Like,
Yeah. But anyway, so I saw. Oh my gosh, I saw this post and I thought it was really interesting. And the post reads like this: if all 10 Game of the Year winners came out in the same year, which one would have won Game of the Year? So,
okay. I forget what the. Okay, so we're talking.
so basically, for everyone who just didn't understand a single word I just said, basically, there have been 10 Game of the Years, according to the Game Awards, in the last decade. The question is, if all 10 of those winners came out in the same year, which one would have won Game of the Year? Not which one would we have picked, which one do we think would have won? And I think that's really interesting because you could go off of Metacritic score, but there have been winners that had lower scores. And I think the more interesting conversation and the better question, and we've seen it with every game awards, is timing is pretty much everything. Like, depending when a game comes out, how a game comes out, like if it's polished or whatnot, because there are some games that get polished way over time. But then the same thing, because Overwatch is a Game of the Year winner. In 2016, Overwatch was like the biggest thing alive. But today, it's like Overwatch is whatever. So it's like when did this come out? Because are we talking about Prime Overwatch? Are we talking about, it's just interesting. Are we talking about, because let's be honest here, like a lot of these games are open world, and without like Dragon Age, open world wouldn't be what it is. Without Zelda, open world wouldn't be. So it really, to me, it's like, when did all these games come out, and like what time are we kind of basing this off of? Because I think that's what's really going to determine it. But I'm curious to hear your thought. I have my top 3.
I almost have a top 3. I'm debating.
So all the options for everybody who doesn't know, we have Dragon Age Inquisition, The Witcher 3, Overwatch, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, God of War 2018, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, The Last of Us Part 2, It Takes Two, Elden Ring, and Baldur's Gate 3. It's a tough one.
I think it's between 4.
Yeah, I agree. So let's do process of elimination first. Let's do process of elimination. I think the first one we have to get rid of, even though I just said it was the biggest. It's just really hard in today's day and age to see Overwatch even in contention for it. Even though, like I said, in 2016 though, Overwatch was gaming in 2016. Like that, it took over. So I could definitely see it.
Well, I can't say that. I was gonna say, look at how Concord did, a hero shooter. And you know how the reaction is to hero shooters, like.
Yeah. But that's also the thing, is like, if we were in 2016, okay, maybe we could make the argument, but unfortunately we're in 2024. Overwatch 2 is now a thing, and that is nowhere near as successful. Concord was just a massive flop, so it's really hard to look at this and be like, Overwatch has a shot, when I just don't think it does. The other one I think I would eliminate is Last of Us Part 2, just because I feel like out of all of these, Last of Us Part 2 had the most divisiveness. So I would probably eliminate Last of Us Part 2 as well. Also, it did have a lower score compared to some of the other ones. And then the other two I would instantly get rid of are Sekiro and Dragon Age. I don't think I think both of those are great, but I don't think they are like.
I think they're too niche.
Yeah, I think they're too niche, and I don't feel like they had as big an impact as some of these other ones.
Sekiro, I would say, is not as niche, but I feel like there is another game that is, developed by FromSoft that I think is universally more acclaimed than Sekiro.
Yeah. So
I mean, just either, man.
And unfortunately, even though I think it should be in the running. I don't think It Takes Two would win. Yeah, so I'm also going to eliminate that.
I think platformers stand out a lot, but I feel like I think even when It Takes Two won, I think it was still
it was a hard contention, yeah.
Like it was difficult, which isn't like a bad thing, but that just means a lot of good stuff came out. But I feel like when something wins Game of the Year, there usually is a clear winner for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And honestly, when It Takes Two won, it wasn't really negatively received, but it was not the, you know, kind of expectation.
The console seller.
Yeah, or like the expectation I was waiting for, like with Baldur's Gate 3. Everyone said that was going to win.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, It Takes Two, it wasn't. But there was also so many good games that came out.
Yeah.
A lot of platformers.
So, honestly, I think 5 low-key have a shot.
I think God of War's out.
Really?
Over the other ones?
I don't know. Okay, see, because I'm looking at this in a weird way.
How popular is The Witcher 3?
Okay, so here's the issue. We have one of the most like highest praised RPGs of all time being The Witcher and Baldur's Gate 3. And then you have like the most critically acclaimed like Nintendo game almost of all time, Breath of the Wild. And then you have the most critically acclaimed Souls game of all time being Elden Ring. And it took that genre open world. But then you have the most critically acclaimed, like one of the most critically acclaimed action adventure games, which, let's not forget, God of War beat Red Dead Redemption 2, which it had 3 points higher than God of War. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the highest rated games literally of all time. So it's like, I don't think you can count God of War out. Because also, we know the critics love their stories. And I do feel like God of War has probably the best story out of all of these. Debatably. So,
I have an answer.
I mean, I know I know which one I would say.
I think we both know the clear winner because I think there's a lot of bias, which is okay, but also not. Because, but like, I mean, they don't miss. When have they missed? So.
Okay, maybe we have different answers. Hold up.
What do you think it is?
I think it's Zelda easy.
Oh man, that's hard because it was either that or Elden Ring. I'm gonna say Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring.
See. Okay.
The top two is Elden Ring and Zelda because critics glazed Breath of the Wild forever. Like, still to this day, any open world game, they will talk about Breath of the Wild. They will.
See,
Breath of the Wild is still talked about more than
okay, see, I think 100%. I genuinely think Breath of the Wild wins it easy because you can go to almost any game critic channel and look at their top 50 games of all time, top like 10 games of all time, top 100 games of all time, and almost every single one of them have Breath of the Wild in the top 5. Almost every single one of them. And I don't see Elden Ring in a lot of them. I see them maybe in like top 10, maybe top 20, but Zelda's always top 5, top 3. There's some that have it at literally number 1, saying it's the best game of all time. And it is technically tied for the highest score of all time with a 997. So it's like,
I'm gonna say Elden Ring.
See, but that's the thing though. Do you get Elden Ring's open world without Breath of the Wild though?
You gotta include DLC.
Ooh.
I think,
do we include DLC though?
I would. It's a full package. It came out. If we're talking this year, that means Elden Ring DLC came out this year as well. So that'd be a part of the package.
And then real quick, we're kind of sleeping on Baldur's Gate, low key.
I think Baldur's Gate is fantastic, but I think it's too niche. I think
Yeah, I agree.
Because of how niche it is, I think it wouldn't appeal to everyone.
See, but I also think Zelda biased is insane as well.
It's either Elden Ring or Zelda. I think it can go either way, but I am going to go off the idea that I think.
I also don't think it'd go to Elden Ring because I think there are. While Elden Ring is the most popular Souls game, like in terms of numbers, it is not the most beloved Souls game. A large majority still like Bloodborne more than Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's almost universally said that Breath of the Wild is like the greatest Zelda, even though I definitely don't agree. But
no, not even close.
yeah, but I just think there is too much of a bias towards Breath of the Wild for it not to be Breath of the Wild.
I'm still gonna say Elden Ring. I truly believe if you put all these titans together, I think Elden Ring comes out.
Man, we got nine fantastic games out of 10. Sorry, last is part 2 is not. Yep, sorry. All right, but anyway, it's okay. It's fine.
I mean, it's a game. I haven't played it, but
I do think for me, and here's what I'll say: if I had to rank all of them, this is my ranking: Zelda, Elden Ring, God of War, Baldur's Gate, Witcher. It Takes Two.
Over Sekiro?
I think so. I think the only reason Sekiro won is because there wasn't that much competition, in my opinion, in 2019. Like, there were some great games, but nothing on the scale of, like, Elden Ring or anything. I think Death Stranding might have been its hardest competition, honestly.
I mean, Control.
Yeah, but that's still not on the level of like Elden Ring or anything.
Smash Brothers Ultimate. Fighting games don't win game
Yeah,
of the year,
no,
bro.
no, they don't.
I
would put
don't
It Takes
see
Two
a
above
world-
Sekiro. I would put
I
It
don't
Takes
see
Two.
I don't see a world where a fighting game is game of the year.
But yeah, Zelda, Elden Ring, God of War, Baldur's Gate, Witcher, It Takes Two, Sekiro, Dragon Age, Last of Us, and Overwatch. That's my ranking.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just saw that post and I was like, such an interesting. Like, imagine if all those games came out in 1 year. Can you imagine? That'd be insane.
I mean, I do think it'd be very interesting, but I still think Elden Ring will come out on top.
Yep.
Like if they all came out today, that means Elden Ring, absolutely Elden Ring. Because the idea is that everything of those games comes out this year. You would have so many open world games before Zelda. I feel like the thing is with Zelda is it came out and it popularized it. If it's already popular, no, Elden Ring. I'm giving it free.
Well, hold on, whoa. First of all, Dragon Age is open world, Witcher is open world, and both of those came before
Yes,
Breath of the Wild.
But listen. Okay, Breath of the Wild is praised for its, being open world. Okay, but think about the timing of when it came out. Do you think Breath of the Wild would be as popular as it is if it came out today when we've had so many other open world games at this point? Because I know Elden Ring would. I know 100,000,000% Elden Ring would.
Yes,
But with
yes, 100%. Because
You think Breath of the Wild
because
would
it's
be
the
as
first
popular?
open world Zelda. That was the whole point. It was Zelda taking a completely different approach, and its innovation is out of the world.
I'm giving it to Elden Ring. I think it would be Elden Ring. That's just me.
I mean, just look at Tears of the Kingdom. It came out and it's literally a sequel to Breath of the Wild, and it still is considered
And it
one
has
of
a
the best
and it
games of all
has a
time.
lower score than the DLC of Elden Ring.
But that's true. But no, it doesn't. It has the same score. No, it has the same score.
What is Tears of the Kingdom?
96. Shadow of the Erd Tree is 96.
No, it's a 95.
Shadow of the Erd Tree?
Yeah.
Oh,
What I'm
so
seeing
it's
here
one.
is-
It's 1 point higher then.
Yeah. But you're almost getting beat by DLC. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, step up your game. No, I think it'd be Elden Ring. I know, like, in my heart, I wanted to pick Zelda, but I have this feeling. I really do. I have this feeling that FromSoft is just, there is something about
Yeah.
them that I feel like critics cannot deny. And I just feel like
I will
if
say-
those two went against each other, I think they'd come out with Elden Ring.
I will say, Ragnarok almost beat Elden Ring.
Did it really almost though?
Yeah, it won like majority of the awards that night, but then Elden Ring
Yeah, but
took
then
it at the
didn't
end.
win Game of the Year.
Right, that's why I said it almost did. It almost did.
I wouldn't. I think it was a landslide. I think Elden Ring was the definitive. That's one everyone wanted it to win.
No, that's such cap.
Hey, from what I've seen, everyone wanted Elden Ring to win. Yes, you had your Ragnarok fans, but I saw more people say they wanted Elden Ring to win. Like, a lot more, I feel.
More, yes. I wouldn't say like by a landslide though.
Bro, I'm just keeping it real. Like, if that was the case, then
I don't
why
think
didn't,
that's real, buddy.
Why didn't Ragnarok win then?
Because more wanted Elden Ring, but not by a landslide.
You know what? I need the voting to come out. I'm just confident. I'm confident that they
Actually,
glazed
voting
some-
did come out. It lost by 4%. Or along that line, it was a single digit percentage. That's all I remember.
Game, what would it be?
2022.
22. I don't know if I'm gonna find this.
I was gonna say I saw it a while ago.
I don't know. So unless I have proof, I don't believe you.
That's
Won
fine.
by a landslide.
Okay, buddy. All right. Well, let's get into.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say Elden Ring though. I Zelda and Elden Ring. Those are the only two answers. Like,
Yeah, I
don't think
agree.
there's other
I agree.
competition.
I agree.
Breath of the Wild's overrated. Just gotta say it.
Yep, I agree. I agree. All right. I think that's probably about. I think that's about it in terms of like, not bad news.
No, you want to talk about Space Marine?
Oh yeah, I guess we can. Yeah, sure.
It
Go ahead.
Came out.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's mid. No. It's fun. It's pretty fun. Like, it's pretty good. We're not very far, but I don't have a lot of a personal attachment to it at this moment, which I think is personally okay. There's something wrong with that. I think it's good. I don't know if this game is 100% for me, but it's been a very fun experience. And I think, to put into perspective on why, and this is what I'm going to say, this is why Metacritic doesn't matter, this is why you make your own opinions, you form what you want. Moist Critical just talked about Astrobot today, and this dude said Astrobot is he says it's a 10 out of 10, but it is his third favorite game of the year. You know what game he has over, 2 games he has over Astrobot, which are worse in score, is number 1 being Black Myth Wukong, and the second being Space Marine 2. I think that says a lot, and that doesn't mean that scores always matter, and it's all down to preference. And to me personally, this game may not be screaming something that I may really, really love, but I do see the product for how it is, and it's a very good game so far. It's got a lot of unique aspects to it. I like the idea they're going for. It hasn't completely sold me a lot, but there's a lot of interesting aspects that are really fun. The glory kills and the finishers are fantastic. I love those. I think those are great. Uh, really satisfying finishers. Um, the I love the chaos that happens. The chaos is so much fun, and I think they really get you in good environments that really make that atmosphere bigger. I like the cinematicness to it. Like it tries to be very serious, and I think it does a good job, especially with its cutscenes that look really good. There's a lot there's a lot to really unpack that I feel like we haven't. But I think so far it's been a good experience. It's been fun, and I'm definitely willing to play more, and I'm excited to see what else we have yet to see because I've heard it's a great story, and I'd be willing to definitely unpack more of what it's got to offer.
Yeah, I mean, I what am I trying to say? I'm right there with you. I'm like kind of shocked how like high up there it is for so many people. Like I saw Mighty Keith tweet one day, like it was in contention for like his game of the year or whatnot. And then I didn't even know the most critical thing, but I'm honestly not surprised. But I agree with you. It just goes. I think this might be the year of realization that no, as like games, no matter where they are in the 80s or not 90s, is not a definitive telling of how much people love the game, because you could just look at Warhammer and Black Myth for example. Black Myth is lower than Warhammer, lower than Astrobot, lower than Final Fantasy, and it's the biggest game of the year. And so, you could look at that, but then you look at Space Marine, and it's same thing. It's massive, and people are absolutely loving it. And so, I think there's a lot to look at here, but in terms of Warhammer, I'm right there with you. I think it's very fun. I think it's very awesome, just the amount of different vibe the game brings. Like it's just a very unique setting. Like it's your typical aliens war chaos game, but it does it in such like a way that really haven't seen before, but at the same time it feels familiar. But I don't know, it just mixes Doom-esque vibes with like Gears of War-esque like vibes, and it's just it's just a lot of vibes. Yeah, it is. It's a very epic, intense game. Like there are moments where I'm literally like yelling at Austin, "Get inside!" because there's so many bugs just trying to kill us, and I'm like, and it's just crazy.
I'm over here like,
yeah, literally, like there's a lot of great moments to be had here. I will say the game is pure satisfaction. Holy smokes! Like everything you do in the game just feels so satisfying. Whether it's shooting, whether it's pairing. The pairing is like my favorite thing, bro. Like they just grab the enemy, and, like that's pairing. You just grab the enemy and then like smash them in the ground or something. Like it's absolutely awesome. Yeah,
that's cool. We just got to the point where we get like jetpacks or like boosters, so now we can like float around a little bit. We've got like a really like a rocket jump kind of. Is the best way to describe it. So I think there's a lot more that we have yet to get, and there's also weapons we haven't got. Like there's a big old boy hammer at some point that I want.
Oh yes.
I like melee weapons like that.
Yes, I love hammers as well.
So, dude, I'm telling you, I think September is the best month of gaming for this year. Like in terms of the games that are releasing, I think almost everything is going to be a banger that is like big on people's radars.
Yep, I completely agree.
I think it's showing right now. So like we've been pretty clear, and we still got, of course, Plucky Squire, low key. I'm getting that feeling game of the year contender, even though I don't think it will be. But in my heart, I'm gonna believe because I think that looks special. We got Dead Rising coming. Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so ready for Peak to return. Oh, and then we got Echoes of Wisdom, Game of the Year contender. I already know it. I already know. Absolutely. There's no way in my mind. There's no way it doesn't. I have so much faith. It's unreal.
Yep. I mean, I agree.
Game awards don't matter, but it's fun to analyze and speculate what people would assume is what they would think would be a Game of the Year contender.
Yep. But yeah, so if we were to because last podcast we made a new grading scale that I go off of. I don't know if that's what you go off. I don't think that's what you go off of. But like okay.
I already got it.
Okay. So what score would you give Warhammer so far? And keep in mind, guys, this is like 2-3 hours into the game, so this is like a very early score. But
I'm gonna give it a solid 7.5.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I also think it's a 7.5 for me.
Because you put that as very fun.
Really good, yeah. Really good. Yeah.
Yes, really, yes.
Pretty much same
I
thing.
give it 7.5.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. All right. So, Austin. How do you feel just right now? Just how are you right now? Just how do you currently feel?
I'm feeling great for different reasons. First off, I'm doing this podcast with you, which I love talking about video games with you because you're not an annoying pest like the internet can be. My guy drops a song tonight, so I am beyond excited. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm pretty happy. Why? Are you gonna crush my dreams?
No. I just want to know how you're doing. Because I am ticked off, okay? I'm ticked off, and I need to talk about stuff. Because here's where I'm at, genuinely. And I'm going to just, you know what? I'm going to just say it. Because I'm tired of sugarcoating. I'm tired of just trying to be fake, low-key. I'm going to just say how it is. This generation has been a disappointment. The industry is currently failing. And gaming is quite frankly a disaster. And apparently, no companies outside of Nintendo, Capcom, Sega, and believe it or not, Take-Two Interactive know what the heck they're doing. No company knows how to make video games. No video game company knows how to even be in this industry, because we have two of the big three releasing way overpriced pieces of hardware to the point where it's making their entire fan base hate on them, which I do think is a little bit of overhate, but it's happening nonetheless.
I think it's definitely overhate for Xbox. I can't. I'm sorry. It's a limited edition. I think limited edition, and it's also 2 terabytes, right?
Yeah.
I think that's fine for the pricing. Plus, it's limited edition. Like, I think that's fine. Like,
but then you have Xbox that just, for the third time this year, has laid off about, how much today? 650 employees for the third time today. Oh boy, we have Ubisoft canceling projects left and right. We have Square Enix, who doesn't know what the heck they're doing. We have EA, who keeps canceling projects left and right. We have Annapurna now, that for some reason they got into some squander today, where the entire staff just decided to completely up and leave. We have video game prices, or we have the cost of video game development skyrocketing to the point where it's literally driving studios to the ground. We have franchises that are dying because if you don't have enough sustainability, you can't risk putting it on these IPs. Therefore, they're just going to die. We have live service games that are becoming the biggest flops in video game history. We have Twitter and people hating on pretty much every single thing you can possibly think of. It is quite literally a complete disaster. And thankfully, there are still a lot of great games coming out, because if it wasn't for those things, gaming would legitimately be nothing but negativity completely. And it already is like 80%. So we're going to talk about all this. And here's the thing. I'm not bothered by really any of it.
That's fake as all. Bro, literally, I'm not bothered by all of it. Even though this dude literally just poured his heart. He was holding that in, bro. He had that locked in the chamber, ready to go. Pistol out. He shot, bro. Like, that's crazy. How do you feel now? Like, getting all that out.
What kind of publisher releases all their games on a subscription service for $18 to then play the whole game and then cancel it right afterwards? When you wonder why there's issues with sustainability, let's ask Ubisoft low-key. How much money have you made on Star Wars Outlaws? I'd be really curious. Better question. How much did you spend on Star Wars Outlaws? I think that's the better question, because I'll tell you what, you definitely spent a lot more than you should have on that game. Apparently, it's your highest marketed, or apparently you spent the biggest budget on marketing ever on Star Wars Outlaws, and I haven't seen a single ad for this joint. All right? I don't know what's going on. You have NFL just started again. Where are the commercials? Where are the commercials? What's going on? We have Xbox, who doesn't know how to release their dang games. They have so much now that they don't even know what they have. We have Starfield, Xbox exclusive. We have Indiana Jones, timed Xbox exclusive. And we have Doom the Dark Ages, multi-platform. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Genuinely. Like, Nintendo, you have some issues. But you at least know what you're doing. And I can't blame you for that. Like, you do have some anti-consumer stuff. Every company does, so it's okay. I don't know what your deal is with your music. It's music. Calm down. But you at least know how to run a gaming business. Congratulations. I feel like your next console is like the only thing that has genuine hype around it anymore. That is the only thing that I can go to pretty much any conversation on social media, and it's nothing but excitement for. That's almost the only thing. The only thing I could say that maybe is negative is cautiousness in terms of will it have backwards compatibility or whatnot. But in terms of like actually being excited for it, everybody is. Congratulations, Capcom. You're literally perfect, bro. Like, Capcom, you've done nothing but great things. You're hiring more people. You're bringing back as many old IP as possible. Same thing with Sega, bro. You guys are doing the same exact thing.
I wouldn't say Capcom's perfect.
They're perfect, and Sega's dang near right close to there.
No, Capcom has frame rate issues. Monster Hunter Wilds might be at 30 FPS, and I want them to stop with this 30 FPS nonsense. We don't need more of those. Dragon's Dogma 2.
That's not Capcom's fault, though. Let's be real, and that's why. No. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up.
No, that's a dev problem. That's a dev problem.
No, absolutely not. I think that this is a generation problem. And that's why I say this generation has been a complete disappointment. The whole selling point of the Xbox Series X and PS5 was to run games at 4K, 60 frames per second. And now we're getting a PS5 Pro that's saying the same exact thing. And guess what? That still isn't going to be able to run 4K, 60 frames per second.
I think I have a hot take. I think that's more of a dev problem. And I've had my thoughts on this. I've had a lot of thoughts, and we're gonna really dive into it here.
If that was it, If that was a dev problem, why can
I have my take.
PC do it?
I mean, like, man, yes, I get that, but also, why are you going over the limit that you can't reach? Stop pushing beyond a limit that can't be pushed beyond yet.
It's because there's stupid guidelines. Think about
but also,
think about
if
it.
there's guidelines, you have to follow those guidelines. You can't push beyond.
No,
a limit
that's what
can't
I'm
be pushed
saying.
beyond.
That's what I'm saying. The reason things go to 30 FPS is because they're stupid guidelines. Why do you think the Xbox versions of so many games keeps getting delayed? Because there are technical issues with their stupid guidelines. Whereas on PC,
also,
you could do whatever you want.
But also, what if they stop trying to focus on 4K graphics when we want performance? You don't always need to focus on graphics. Graphics is not number one. Every single time, developers, it's the same thing within the PS5 Pro discussion. Oh my god, this is for the 25% of people that choose graphics. Our developers want more graphics modes. We don't want 4K all the time.
Because, unfortunately, Austin, this is just reality. That's what we were freaking promised. That's what this generation was promised. The Xbox One X could do it. The PS4 Pro could do it. So why would we go back down? It's just stupid what this generation has done. It's completely subverted everyone's expectations. That's all it is. If we were still in the PS4 Pro era and Xbox One X era, we would still have the same expectations of like, okay, 4K is a special thing. It's not something we're gonna get every game. Okay, 60 frames per second is something we're working towards. That was the whole expectation of this generation, to do those things, and we still can't do it.
I do get your
meanwhile, PC is perfect. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, not really. It's
okay. There are issues with PC, but like in terms of like,
well, that is actually a dev studio problem.
Yes.
That's not. I do get what you're putting down, but to me, I've gotten so used to it. I just think it's mostly a dev problem, because if you have the guidelines, you have to follow what you can work with. You can't push beyond something that cannot do it. You can, but then it's going to be a problem. Like, I get what you mean. Like, I completely agree with you. But when those guidelines are in place, what else are you going to do? You going to make sure the game isn't perfect? Like, I completely agree. It's
pretty
like,
much my whole this wasn't even what I wanted to argue about. I was gonna say what the whole reason I mentioned this was we've gotten so much to the point, specifically in the console market, where it is pretty much completely scuffed from here on out, no matter what, because we've reached a point where technology and video games have come so far that any sort of advancements made is so minimal, but compared to what it was, it technically is large. Like let's take the PS5 Pro for instance. It's upping everything by 45%, which is a really good percentage. But it's upping what is already dang near photorealism to even just more photorealism. There is going to get a point where, like, you can't get more live action than live action. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to reach a point where everything is so microscopic in terms of differences. And the problem is everything in price keeps going up. And people keep having this expectation of we want to jump up resolutions, a whole category. We want to jump up for frame rates, a whole category. And then, unfortunately, they complain about the price. When, unfortunately, that's what you have to do if you want that. You almost have to go to that price. I get the PS5 Pro is expensive. I'm not defending that at all. But what you're talking about, making sure every single game runs at 4K 60 FPS, not even certain PCs can do that. Like you need a high quality, not a super high quality, but like a pretty good PC in order to even attempt to do that. And that is way more expensive than the PS5 Pro. They're probably already taking a loss in terms of profit and revenue off of the PS5 Pro. And so it's just a whole thing. But anyway, my whole point here is everybody needs to genuinely, and I'm talking about the companies here, everybody needs to genuinely stop and look at what is happening, because they're driving themselves to the ground. Like almost every single one of them, except Nintendo, Capcom, Sega, and Take-Two. But unfortunately for Take-Two, they have Grand Theft Auto, so they don't need to worry about a thing in their life. But
until it comes out as 30 FPS, but everyone's gonna play it still.
Exactly. So, all right, we're gonna have to pick apart all these things separately, because there's so many issues here.
I'll be completely honest with you. I had no reason to argue with you. I just thought it'd be funny because I'm like, man, this guy is going crazy. I'm gonna like hype up the energy here.
I don't even remember what we were arguing about.
I have my takes. I have some interesting takes today.
All right, what do you want to start with? Because I have a bunch of different categories. I have a bunch of different specific issues.
What's on your mind, man? Like, what's the number one thing you wanna like?
I feel like the best way to start, because I feel like it branches out, because it has a lot of overlap, is with the PS5 Pro. I think we should start with that. Okay. I've already given my thoughts on the channel, so I'll let you start out. Plus, I just went on a rant, so go ahead. By the way, sorry for screaming, everybody.
It's whatever. Just turn your volume down. Like, there's a volume button for a reason, fellas. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you my overall thoughts. So, presentation releases. I was at work. I listened to audio. I did not see a lot of it. I tried to look at a tiny bit from time to time. And, you know, like, it just, like, I tried to see what I could see. I listened to it, and I saw the ending. I specifically looked to the end because I was like, the price is probably coming. It was $700. And here is my personal take. I do think that is a little insane. And I think the only reason it is insane to me is because it does not come with a disk drive. I do think a $200 increase is a little crazy, but I think for the idea that it's 2 terabytes, which a terabyte alone, if you buy an external, is about $100. Mm-hmm. That means for all the improvements, it would have been $100. Now, if they would have got rid of 2 terabytes, that could have been possibly a $600 console. So I'm not particularly upset about that. I am upset at the idea that you have to pay $100 extra for the stand, and you know the vertical stand that they probably have 5 million of them in their warehouse.
Probably cost them $5 to make.
Literally,
not even. It's literally a piece of plastic,
and it's literally sold separately for $30. Like, that is insane. I didn't even know they had a stand until
I don't even use a stand.
I keep mine vertical up.
Yep.
Like, but that is why I am upset, because I am a physical game owner, and I think this shows where PlayStation's headed, because who knows? Maybe the next PlayStation is gonna be all digital. Maybe they just ditch physical media. They probably won't. I hope not, because I would genuinely be very upset. Because PlayStation is the scariest, I think, because I think they are the most likely to steal content from you, and they can delete it off your console within an instant.
I also think they just have the most greed right now.
Oh yeah, they're literally the new Apple.
Yeah,
they just are, like, of the gaming universe. I don't think 700 is the absolute worst. If it did come with the stand and the disk drive, I think the disk drive is the biggest and the most stupidest thing ever, because it's like, I think all of that for 700, if you really look at the improvements, I think is fine. But I want to make one thing known. I think the only reason you should buy this, and I think it's the only reason, if you are a graphics mode player, I think it is fine. I think there is a world where I could see you doing this. I think if you are a performance player, I don't think this is for you. Because I have looked into this, I have talked about it, I have literally just watched a couple YouTubers talk about it. I think the graphics mode, which, and I looked back at the presentation for this, and I'm going to put my personal opinion down, because I think this is really stupid. I understand the angle, but I think it's dumb. In the presentation, they specifically said 25% of PlayStation users play in graphics mode. 75% of PlayStation owners, there is 55 million users that have bought a PlayStation, play in performance. What they decided to do was to minimize that and equal it out. Why would they not focus on the 75%? So instead, in the presentation, they said it was to minimize that to get more graphics players. And I think it shows, because I think the graphics mode has a bigger improvement on this PS5 Pro. They talk about games being 4K 60 FPS. While performance mode, I think there's not that much bigger of a difference. I think there's not a big enough difference within performance mode to justify that increase. I think graphics mode, yes, that's a whole FPS boost entirely. But also, you have to think about it. I think the performance mode looks a tiny bit better. It just, you sharpened out some things and it looks a little smoother. But we're talking about performance, which is frame rate. When did they show a lot of frame rate? They just took a bunch of pictures and literally just showed it. Also, they showed PS4 games that already run at 60 FPS. They showed Ratchet & Clank, that runs at 60 FPS. They showed Horizon runs at 60 FPS. Why didn't they show games like, oh, Bloodborne? You know, that game runs at 30. It'd be nice to have it at 60, even though it could have ran at 60 already. But it would have been nice to be like, oh, okay. Dragon's Dogma 2, a great example. That game, if it showed it got an FPS boost and it didn't struggle to hit 60 as much, that would have been a better example. It would have been something that I would have been happy about. And the idea that this thing will still, to this day, not run games at 60 it just doesn't feel worth it to me. It really doesn't. I need to see more. I need to see more benefits. I need to see more good examples. To me, the number one reason I wanted this console was because I wanted games to run better. And if I'm not even promised that, I don't see the point. I don't. Like, that's literally the number one reason I wanted it. I want games to run better. I don't need a game to constantly be 4K. 1440 is fine. Yes, 4K is amazing. But I also think developers need to stop pushing graphics so much. Consumers want performance over visuals. It is how it is going to be. That is why 75% of consumers are picking performance over visuals. And anytime that 25% picks visual mode, how many times do you see them showing gameplay of them moving around? Every time people do graphics mode, they are showing pictures, which are still images, and standing still and slowly moving the camera. You want to know why? Because the games look best in graphics mode when it's played slow. That's why so many games look awful in graphics mode. Prime examples, Dying Light 2 is almost unplayable to me in graphics mode. Running around and looking on a camera at super fast-paced action parkour is actually mind-numbing to me. Like, I feel drunk. Horizon was another one. I hated Horizon in graphics mode. Surprisingly, I couldn't do it. Like, I literally did it for 10 minutes. I could not do it. It literally, I almost wanted to vomit from how, like, I literally feel drunk. Like, it's just not a fun experience. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, if we're getting down to this point, if it's going to come down to graphics versus performance, dude, I just get rid of like I don't know, man. This
I just think visuals are being pushed beyond a limit that I think is too far, and I think it's hurting performance a lot. On top of other things, like these open world games are putting so much in it. I think visuals are they're starting to get prioritized over performance, and I'm choosing performance any day of the week. Um, I don't know, man. I just I don't even think the PS5 Pro is really worth it much anymore. They haven't shown me enough to make me want to buy it. If performance is still not going to get improved on games, I don't see a point. Like, to me, I have to see an improvement on the games that need it. Alan Wake 2 does not need yes, it'll look better, but show me something that needs a performance boost, something that could benefit from it. If my PS5 can already run Alan Wake 2 at a consistent 60, I am perfectly satisfied. Like, yes, it could look better, but if it already looks good and it runs well, that's all I ask. That's all I care about. It's still a phenomenal experience. Like, I think the difference in this is it's like, I feel like the main thing about the PS5 Pro is it worth spending $800 to get an experience that is already going to be potentially good on the regular PS5? Is the PS5 Pro going to guarantee a significant leap in an experience that you can have while playing on it? I think that is the number one question that a lot of people have. And I don't think PlayStation at this very moment, nor Sony, has really made that clear.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of things you said. I do disagree with a couple things. We'll talk about that, but I think yeah, but I think, I mean, you're spot on in terms of people want performance. They made that pretty abundantly clear. 3/4 of everybody's choosing performance mode over quality. And what I will say, and I've said this multiple times, I can't defend the backlash for it being this expensive for what most people see a difference with. Like your take and like your interest in it, like I can't disagree with. It makes 100% sense to me because that's just like everything you said is pretty much facts. The one part I did disagree with is you said that they're only trying to upgrade the quality mode, and that they're not really upgrading the performance mode. You're muted.
No, what I was saying is I see a significant difference within the
Right.
graphics mode.
Right.
The visuals or the performance mode, I don't think there's that big of a difference.
Right.
I really don't think there is so far.
Well, see, now here's the problem, and this is what I mentioned earlier, is we've gotten to a point where technology can only go so much farther to the point where we actually notice something. And it just so happens the most noticeable thing in gaming is frames. And so if you are to upgrade a performance mode, 60 FPS is the benchmark. Almost nothing's going to run like at 120 on a console. So it's not like we're looking for 120. If you were to upgrade both modes, quality and performance mode, there's really only two things you can upgrade. In quality mode, it would be the frames. And in performance mode, it would be the graphics. That's the only thing you can really upgrade in those two modes. Outside of that, yes, there is the whole argument of The point is we want more games to have a performance mode where we can run 60 frames per second. That's a whole different discussion. But even in just today's day and age, if we were to boot up like Dying Light 2, me and you have said multiple times, even just going to performance mode makes it feel like the graphics look better. And that is true. Because of the higher frames, the graphics look better.
And it's smoother. You actually see like things a lot smoother. Yes, in graphics mode it looks better. But I'm telling you.
No.
Notice how graphics mode, everyone that shows you graphics mode is turning the camera at a snail's pace.
Yep.
But we know when you move that camera, oh my God, is it... I'm going to say this. It's a hot take. It is a hot take. Graphics mode is literally motion blur times 2. It just is. Like, it is dang near, I can understand why people say unplayable at times. Because, especially in fast-paced games, if a camera is slow, that is fine. But the problem is, we have so many action games and so many things going on. It just... Oh my God. Imagine playing Indiana Jones at 30 FPS. I'd probably vomit. Like, I don't know.
So, my point was that when it comes to visuals and quality and resolution, there's only going to be so much that you're able to notice. And with performance mode, if it's already at 60 frames per second, the only thing you can really upgrade is visuals. And even if you upgrade that, it's going to be so almost unrecognizable to the point where you will get that idea that you have that they barely upgraded that and they focused more on quality. Whereas the reality is frames are just way more noticeable. And that's why it looks like they had way more improvements to quality mode, because we're noticing the frames in quality mode, whereas when it just comes to visuals, it looks very minor. Even though, I mean, it is minor to the eye, but like in terms of technology, you can only really do so much. Like the only step up from 4K is 8K, and we're definitely not doing that. Most people don't even have 8K TVs. I'm convinced it's not even a thing. I've yet to even see one in somebody's household. Like, so in terms of visuals, there's only so much you can really do to enhance performance mode. The only thing you can do is give games that currently don't have a 60 frame option a 60 frame option. And that is where I do get the critique. I think that is for sure a valid critique. I will say though, the presentation was complete garbage.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, the whole show, regardless of what anyone thinks of the hardware itself, the 9-minute presentation hosted by Mark Cerny did absolutely nothing except show us the price. Like, it did not sell the console in any which way. To the point where...
You know, I have a funny thing for you, which I think is kind of funny. I watched a YouTuber, and this is just how I feel, man. He had his takes on it, and he said he sees a tiny difference, but he was like, he took a thing, and he took one of the images, and he's like, who's to say I couldn't just go into Adobe Premiere Pro and just sharpen the image and see if it looks better? And he just literally took it and sharpened it like once and twice, and he's like, wow, this looks a lot better. Like, there's an even clearer difference here. And I'm like, yeah, it's completely different from the whole idea of like video games and how development works, but it's like there could be so much more of a higher leap, I feel, than what I've seen in the performance department. You know?
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I disagree. Where else are we going?
Like, okay. Maybe I gotta chill out here. Okay.
Okay, first of all, I don't even know why performance mode. Their example. Yeah, here we. Okay, was the Spider-Man 2 segment? Is that where they tried talking about performance and how it looked, or was that the graphics? I have no idea.
Okay, so they showed Last of Us Part 2 running in quality mode
Yes.
on the PS5 Pro, and it was basically 4K with higher frame rates. They didn't specify it was 60. They didn't specify anything in this video. Everyone's just pretty much assuming what's going on for the most part. But it was running at 4K at a higher frame rate. That's really all they said. And then we went to, I think it was... See, the problem is, with performance mode, they just showed pictures.
Yes.
They didn't show anything running.
That
is really bad.
So stupid. They
Yes.
literally just showed pictures of Spider-Man 2.
Yes. And
I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
And so my thought, performance mode is 60 frames per second. We already know this. That's what performance mode is. They're basically making things sharper, and most keyword also went somewhere. Keyword, most things most performance modes run at 1440p. And the only place to go up from there is 4K. There is 2K, but no one ever does 2K. That's like it's just not a thing in gaming. Like, I don't think anyone has ever used 2K for any kind of mode or whatnot. And so I think the only place you can go is 4K, and that's kind of what they're trying to do here. I do believe there will be games on this thing that run 4K 60 frames per second. And I do feel like that will be a big selling factor for some games, but that's the thing, it's not going to be for every game. Oh, he's got food. Oh, he's cooking with food. Oh, we can't even hear. You're muted.
I knew I was muted. First try, I popped off. All right, I just got Dairy Queen that arrived. Sorry. Okay. So what were you talking about?
Okay, so
I didn't hear anything.
basically I was saying when most games in performance mode run at 60 frames per second at 1440p. Right? And the only place to go up from there is 4K at 60 frames per second. There is 2K, but no video game ever uses 2K. That's just not a thing in the gaming world. It's a thing in like the iPhone space and mobile space, but that is not a thing in consoles. So the only place to really go up from there is 4K. And they said it in the presentation. Now, again, this is just company PR and marketing. They said that most games are going to be targeting 4K 60 frames per second. That does not mean they're going to be able to achieve that. And that's, again, what I'm trying, kind of going back to what I said earlier. This generation has kind of been a disappointment because I feel like we keep getting promises and set expectations, and every single time expectations fall flat. And so the whole showing pictures and showing the backgrounds a little bit more sharp, crisper, like outside of just definitively running 4K 60 frames per second, that's all you can really do. Like, I like there's not really more you can ask from it outside of being 4K 60 frames per second. And unfortunately, they didn't specify if it was. They didn't specify if it won't be able to. They just said it's sharper, and that's not good enough for a lot of people. But I think I will say, in performance mode, a lot of games currently still have frame drops and frame dips. a lot. There are a lot of games that do that. Even Black Myth Wukong has a lot of dips and a lot of frame drops. I do feel like this will help with that, for sure. I don't feel like there will be as many drops or dips.
But how much? We have yet. See,
Right. We don't know.
They needed to show examples,
Yes.
but they didn't.
Yeah.
They literally didn't show anything. Like, I would think about it. I would have less debate if they literally just showed games that literally need it. Final Fantasy 16, Black Myth Wukong, Dragon's Dogma 2, like, but they just showed games that already run perfectly. They literally run fine. They run at 60. Like, I don't get it. I don't.
I think,
Like,
yeah,
they're
it's
first party games, but they all run phenomenally.
Unfortunately, it's really hard to make an argument for why this thing is worth it and why it's good, because they just didn't give us information of why it is. They just didn't. Like, it's $700 for what? For the big three? Is that what we're paying $700 for? That I feel like they said the word big three more than showed anything worth of importance. They showed, like you said, PS4 games. They showed more ray tracing, which people very little care about ray tracing, and they showed pictures in performance mode. Like, it just doesn't really make sense what they were trying to accomplish here, especially when they slap a $700 price tag at the end of it with no disk drive and with fine print saying stand not included, which kills me, by the way. That is the most just, oh my gosh, it just cracks me up every time I think about it.
Yeah.
But I think, for me, I think this opens up a whole different discussion. Whether you think it's worth it or not, even for somebody like me, who I'm pretty confident I am going to get it, I still think it's stupid. Unfortunately, I'm stupid. So, that's kind of how it's going to work. Like,
Yeah, this product is stupid, but so
like,
am I.
Like, if you ask me, there's almost no way I can recommend it to you, because there's absolutely no reason to.
Hey, man, you buying it will let me know if I'm gonna get it, because I'm a word of mouth from you. I need to hear word of mouth. I want to see it. If you do end up getting it, I want to see it, because I'm not purchasing something for $800 that I'm not certain is really gonna help out in the long run.
I'm pretty confident I am going to get it. And I think the biggest thing, the biggest reason why I'm getting it has nothing to actually do with what they showed during the presentation. It's from listening to a bunch of podcasts today and just watching videos throughout the week ever since its announcement. It's that this console is future-proof, meaning if we look at the PS4, the Xbox One, by the end of that generation, either A, your PS4 Xbox One became so slow or so old that it was struggling to run things, or B, it sounded like a gen engine, like it was about to explode, or C, it got to the point where things could only properly run on the Pro or Xbox One X. Think of something like Cyberpunk, or think of something like God of War Ragnarok or Horizon Forbidden West, to the point where those things are dang near unplayable on base PS4 and base Xbox One. You need the Xbox One X or PS4 Pro to even attempt to run it. And even then, like we saw with Cyberpunk, was still completely broken. And with the way development has gone, I think you brought up a great point, that developers are pushing the boundaries of visuals so much that it's costing frames and performance. If that is the road we keep going on, which unfortunately, with the way this industry works and people just not being able to stop for a second and look what's actually going on, That's just the direction we're gonna keep headed in, because all it's going to take is somebody like Take-Two to release a game like GTA that runs at 30 frames per second, but it's 4K, and it has the greatest visuals of all time, and it makes a bajillion dollars, and everybody wants to replicate it. That's all it takes, and no one's going to listen. No one's going to stop and think, what do we actually have to do here? Because, like it or not, you guys are not GTA. Stop thinking you're Fortnite. Stop thinking you're all these things.
Yeah.
You're making a product to be that product. You should not be trying to duplicate all these things. So for me, the reason I'm getting it, and again, I can't recommend this to anybody. The price is absurd for very little from what we know of right now.
Bro,
I'm just getting it to be future proof.
I'll be real, bro. Like, if I was you, if I bought it when the day it came out, I would lie, just be like, I'm a play tester. I'm testing out the waters to see if it's really worth it, you know, like.
However, I will say, and this is me just speculating. There's no official information, but this is me kind of hoping that this ends up being the case. I do think there will be games that you only get a performance mode if you have a PS Pro. And I think if that is the case, I think that right there, that is the reason to get it. I think if that is the case.
But at the same time, how is this even gonna work? Even like, do we have to wait for specific updates, and do we have to specifically have it approved for like? Because I saw that as a question, like, oh, if Final Fantasy, because Rebirth is getting one, does that mean we have to wait for an update for like Final Fantasy 16 for that to get confirmed? And, like, if the devs are gonna do that,
yeah,
like, I would assume so. Yes.
I will say,
like, how easy is it to make this enhancement? You know, like,
I will say,
you know,
I will say, I do think, and hear me out, and bear with me, because I'm gonna say this, you're gonna be like. No, but like, bear with me. I do think quality mode for the PS5 Pro, the way they're doing it is very smart, because, and I've thought about this, and from what I've heard, think of how many games on the Xbox and whatever on PS5 that only have a 30 frames per second mode, only have that graphics mode, the quality mode. How many times have we said we would love it if they just met in the middle? It was the same graphics, but like 45 frames a second, 40 frames per second. How many times have we said that? And that's kind of what they explained here, is you're getting the same graphics, but at improved frame rates. They didn't specify 60 frames per second, because I don't think they have the balls to do that. But they did say improved frame rates from 30 frames per second. So we might be... And again, this is me just speculating, hoping, because they for sure didn't tell us. But if there is those games that only have a graphics mode, only have a quality mode, but I can meet in the middle and play it at a little bit higher frame rate, meaning 45 or 40, that's going to improve the experience a lot for me, because I like frames. I care about frames. But that is me just hoping and speculating. There's no official information, which therefore that can't really help back up the idea of purchasing this thing until we see it for ourselves. And so, but I do think that is interesting, because we a lot of people are looking at the perspective right now. You have to choose either performance or graphics mode, when there are games that come out today, this year, that only have a graphics mode. And the improvements that they're talking about with graphics mode here gives it more frames. So I do think that it is a nice pro, but again, they didn't say that. They didn't say that at all. So here's
to go back on one more thing, just to make sure, because this is just what it sounds like. I could be wrong. So I'm just confused how this all works with this Pro Enhanced. So this isn't a thing you can't just literally pop in any game you want and it's going to do better. It sounds like it has to specifically have like an update or something. Like, they listed a ton of games and they're like, and more.
Like,
Uh-huh.
I've been seeing a lot of people say that, being like, if you just popped in like Resident Evil, all right, is it gonna automatically like look better? Like,
I mean,
I
I'm
may be
sure
really
you'll. Well, okay.
I may be really stupid for that statement, but it's like the way they like did it. It's like they put a ton of games and they put what has been confirmed. And it's like, why would you confirm it when if you already put it in your console, wouldn't it not already look better? Like
So I'm so lost.
okay, listen. If you put a Wii game in the Wii U, the game's gonna look better.
Uh,
Is that not how this would work? If you put a PS5 game in the PS5 Pro, it's going to look better? Why would you need to list all the games that it's going to make it confirms looks better when everything should, right?
um. Okay, I see what you're saying because there was the whole feature of PS5 game boost or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely see what you're saying. There, seeing again, they just didn't tell us all the information, but there is going to be a difference between games that are specifically have PS5 and Pro enhanced modes, and then just every other game just gets a little boost. And the way I'm comparing it to is, you know how like the Xbox works with like a lot of backwards compatible games, like they just get improved frame rates and improved resolution. I think it's just gonna be like that, but then you have your, I guess, current
But is
version.
that is so it's going to be a decision thing because okay, a great example. Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed. Sega came out and said that it got an FPS boost. It could have got an FPS boost a long time ago, but they decided that it should get a FPS boost and they had to do it themselves. So this is not something I could pop in a Resident Evil 4 and even though it runs at 60, but if I wanted a performance boost, I pop it in. It's not something that's automatically going to perform better. I have to wait for Resident Evil or the team to automatically do that for an FPS boost.
Actually, I think, man, they did such a bad job explaining this stuff.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay,
Like,
I think so. If you pop a PS5 game in there, like Resident Evil 4, I think it'll run better in the terms of there may not be as many frame drops or anything, or it'll load faster. But I think in terms of like upping the frame rate and upping the resolution, if you were to choose either graphics or performance mode, I think you would need a PS5 enhanced mode for that. But I do think in terms of like it running smoothly, I think it will just automatically do that, and that's what the game boost is.
and listen, I know people. If anyone's watching this, all right, it's just like I might be incredibly stupid. I am not the smartest with technology. I know there could be some PC fans. Please don't come at us saying buy a $3,000 PC, and every time you say a $7 PC, my PC is $3,000 apparently. And I still need a better graphics card, and I still need a better processor.
Yeah, but how old is your PC though? Is the problem?
I don't know. Not even that old. Like 2 years.
Okay, you've had that PC since I met you, and it's been way more than 2 years.
No, I haven't had this as long as you think.
Did you have that PC before your Xbox? Whenever you first got the Series S?
That's an interesting question. I don't think so. I don't feel like I did. I feel like I got it.
I mean,
Like
you had
2
to have
years
because
ago.
you stream stuff through it. You streamed on your Series S. So I think you would have had to.
Yeah, that's true. In conclusion, I have a 2070 graphics card, yeah. My processor's fine. It's an i7 9 something. I just need a better graphics card. Even though my 2070's fine, I'd rather upgrade. But if you look at graphics cards, if you want like the highest you could ever want, that's gonna cost you like $1,000. I just find it funny how PC people like
say it's not expensive, but every big creator you find has a very expensive setup. Like, a lot of people have very expensive setups, and it's because they want the best quality. Like, if you want to play some of these games on PC, it's gonna be a lot to run.
So, all right, we're still on the topic of the PS5 here. Let's talk about, because now we've pretty much covered everything we need to know in terms of the specs and performance side of things. Let's talk about this price and how big of a catastrophic event this is. I think it's safe to say 95% of everybody, no, not even, 100% of everybody hates the price, which, I mean, it's $700. That's all the reason you need.
I'm not. I would not be as mad at it if it just came with the disc drive.
I think a lot of people would, are along that line. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it 100%. But if it really came down to this, I would have just took the 1 terabyte. I know a lot of people would really appreciate 2 terabytes, but if it would have went down 100 because of 1 terabyte, I'll take it. Because honestly, if we keep it real, boys, why do we need 2 terabytes when Sony has no first-party games coming out? Let's keep it real, fellas. Like, let's keep it real. Like, why would we need 2 terabytes when they got no games coming out? Sorry.
Yeah.
Now I just
I
come off as hating.
I really do think they fumbled really. I think if it would have been $600, I think there would have been a lot more hype around this thing. I really do think 600 was the sweet spot, and they completely missed that.
But it feels unrealistic for kind of.
It does, yeah, and that is the problem. Yeah, 600 seems way too cheap.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they did decrease to a 1 terabyte, how would that
Yeah.
I would take the missing terabyte. I would.
Yeah, no, I would too, because I have an extra terabyte, so it's like I don't even need
if you have an extra external, and even if you don't, but it's 800 for a physical. That is
I know.
700 for a physical. I could maybe yes, it's skeptical, but I'll do it, man. But it's oh my god, I'm paying double what I would for a normal PS5 digital. That's insane. That's just what makes me mad. I am upset because of the physical. That is why I need to see it. If you get it,
I am gonna get it. I'm pretty positive I am.
Yeah.
Unless there's some news that come out between now and pre-orders that states something just completely stupid, then I'll be no. But I think.
But I need to see some testing. I need you to literally become a lab rat for me. All right. I'm gonna give you every game. I'm gonna give you every game I need play testing for. Of course, one of them is gonna be my GOAT FF16, because I'm gonna tell you now.
I ain't gonna play it. I'm just joking. Sorry.
You wouldn't even test out if a game would run better for me?
No, not FF16. No, because I know you love it so much. So I'd make sure to stay away from that one. FF7 Rebirth though. Bye. Yep. There he went. I knew he's gonna leave. Darn it! You screwed up the podcast screen.
Good. Fantastic. Planet Coaster 2 is mid. No one's excited for it. People are gonna buy Mario Luigi Brothers shit more than Planet Coaster 2.
I know, it's a shame. So true. Reality. Damn.
Let it sit in.
Yeah.
Let it sit in.
Yeah. What's FF7's score on Metacritic, and what's FF16's score on Metacritic? Oh.
It's an 88 and a 92.
What's getting nominated for Game of the Year this year?
They both came out in different years.
Oh, you know what else came out this year?
Yeah, my favorite.
All right, wait, we're so stupid. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wow, a bigger franchise got nominated over a smaller franchise because it's a popularity contest. Who would have guessed, John? Who would have guessed? Oh my God.
And here we are. Yeah, and here we are. Black Myth and Astrobot are both. Yeah.
Even though Black Myth Wukong probably won't get nominated because of controversy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, here's what I'll say about the PS5. I'll leave one last thing because I was thinking about it. If down the line we end up realizing the PS5 can actually run games at 60 frames per second that can't already on the current PS5, I do think that warrants buying one. Like, I really do.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's like
100% agree.
that is like the one thing that I think I think that's the only thing that will get almost everybody on board.
Mhm.
Is just say that there will be certain games on the PS5 Pro that can do a performance mode or can run 60 frames per second. And the reason I say this is, yes, the $700 is a lot, but I compare it to something that happened with me this year already. And that is on the Xbox Series X, Hellblade 2 ran at only 30 frames per second, which led me to playing Hellblade 2 on my PC, which I've never done before. I've never played a game on a game like that on PC before until this year. And I have a $3,000 PC. I literally bought it last year. It's like, I don't even know what it is. It's like an Alienware. I have like a 4070 or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, you have a top of the line PC, dog.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
your processor's probably like low key, probably almost an i9.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But anyway,
You could literally play anything you wanted on that thing.
yeah, I could.
Which is crazy, by the way. I love John because this dude is so funny. He's like, yeah, PC gaming is just so mid. That's why I bought a $3,000 computer to not play games on PC.
To be fair,
with one
I
of the
do-
strongest computers.
I do a lot on my PC. It's just not a lot of gaming, okay? Like, I use a lot of software to make me music, graphic design. I do a lot of schoolwork, stuff like that, which, granted, I do not need this PC to do all that, but I do.
Low key, brother, you might need to get into PC gaming a little bit. It
you
may
know,
not need to be your number one.
the problem is, I ain't trying to buy something on PC again. You feel me?
Yo, real question. What are you playing Avowed on? What if it's 30 on console and 60 on PC?
PC then. See, and that's my point is wherever you can play 60 frames per second at, that's where majority of the people are going to go.
Yeah.
And if PS5 Pro can run things at 60 that you can't on the original, $700 is completely worth it in my opinion, because you need a PC that's well over $1,000 to run a game at 60 frames per second, at least a AAA game at 60 frames per second, meaning you're getting one heck of a deal out of the PS5 Pro if you are getting guaranteed, say, 60 frames per second for a lot of games that you normally can't. The problem is we didn't get that promise. And so, you know, right now there's just a lot of question of is it worth it or not? And I say no, it's not worth it. But we just don't know yet.
Yeah.
We just don't know. We need more information. I personally, and I know how much we've dogged on it and whatnot, I personally am still excited for it in a certain way.
I mean,
because
it's just hard because I want to be excited, but I just don't see a lot of potential right now.
yeah.
Like,
And I feel
think I think there's potential, but where there's like a sliver of hope right now, because I still don't understand it. They show
Yeah.
games that literally already are perfect. Like that is my problem.
Yeah.
Like Alan Wake
I
2,
really do think
like,
that how bad the presentation was is the real issue here.
yeah, it
like-
sucked.
Yeah.
Probably the worst presentation I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it was garbage.
Like
But
straight booty cheeks.
I will say, even though in a lot of ways the differences are very microscopic, it does excite me that I'm gonna be able to play things like Alan Wake 2, like FF7, all of that at a higher quality. Like it does excite me. And what even more excites me is what I said earlier. It's not necessarily that. It's just the fact that I'm future proofing right now. Like this thing will guaranteed get me the best possible console performance on every game up until next generation. And so there will never be a moment where I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I had the PS5 Pro. Oh, that would have been nice. I'm just doing it, even though how stupid it is. Who knows? It might be more worth it down the line. Because I will say, when we look at when we go back to past generation, and I know you weren't really around for past generations, outside of the 360 or PS3, but we didn't have mid-gen refreshes then. But when you look at the Xbox One and the Xbox One X and the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, it was kind of the same thing that's happening right now, where everyone's like, "Do we really need this? Like, what? Like, why do I really pay this much more just to get this thing?" And whenever everyone actually got it and we started seeing the benefits, it was like, oh, okay, so it actually is somewhat decent. Like it actually kind of makes sense in a way. The thing is, it was during that time where, you know, the next jump was 60 frames, 4K. And there was the expectation of, oh, we might be able to get that. And so we were seeing big differences. Whereas now it's like, hey, you're getting 60 frames in 4K, just a little bit better. Okay? But then the question is, where else can we go up from that? Like, you can't really do more than that. I will say, for me, my biggest takeaway out of all of this, because this thing is now $700, what does the PS6 look like?
$900.
See, and that's absurd. It's absurd, but I mean,
well,
I can't say you're wrong.
According to Sony, if there's not a lot of competition, then yeah, guys, we want Xbox to fail. Xbox is trash. Xbox is terrible. Meanwhile, if they die, Sony, $1,200 console. Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I hate Sony. I like their games. I like what they do. I hate them as a company.
Yeah.
I hate Sony.
Mhm.
Like, so much. It's unreal. Oh my god, just the things they have done. Like, I'm sorry, Xbox, at least they're consumer friendly. At least they actually you get more benefit from just, they give us more money than they probably get at this rate. Or like, we get more for our buck than probably they do.
I mean, they most definitely do, because what the heck, Xbox? I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all are seriously testing me. Get your act together, dude. What is going on here? Oh my gosh. Okay. Listen, bear with me, y'all. I have had a 360 since the age of, I don't even know. It's like one of my earliest memories, honestly. I just remember my dad walked in and some days after Christmas. It was after Christmas. It wasn't even Christmas. It was just after Christmas. My dad just walked in. He plopped a big GameStop bag down right in front of my face. I was like, "What the heck is this?" I look in there, and it's Xbox 360 with Gears of War, Skate, and Black Ops 2. And ever since that moment,
Privileged.
I have. and ever since that moment, I have been an Xbox fan. And yes, that includes during the Xbox One era, which we all know how that went. They almost literally died. But even through all that, I've been the biggest defender. But I'm not gonna lie. I am so frustrated with them right now because they don't know what they're doing. They keep changing their plans and the way they do things every 2 months, if even. And all this is backfiring on them to the point where we now have laid off 2,500 employees in total this year. We have games going through completely different strategies. We have some being multi-platform, some being timed exclusives, some exclusives. We have studios being canceled. We have games being canceled. We have IPs being licensed out. We have Game Pass changing in prices and tiers every few months now. We have console generations not even sure what's going on. We might be going early, we might not. We maybe have a handheld, we might not. That stuff's exciting and all. But even then, y'all, we are still waiting for games. I get it. They're coming. I get it. That's what we've been saying for the past half decade. They're coming. And I still stand by that. Like, that's not something I'm going to be like, I've given up. No, I still stand by that. The games are coming. Next year genuinely does look like it's going to be a good year for game releases in terms of Xbox. Who knows what happens on the business side of things. I'm pretty sure it's going to be abysmal. But they just don't know what they're doing. They genuinely don't. And unfortunately, I do feel like a big part of it is upper management in Microsoft. But even then, Phil and Sarah and Matt Booty, I love saying their names, by the way, they should not be going on all these interviews saying things that then 3 months later can be used against them. Like, literally in March, they all three did an interview. And 6 months later, almost every single thing that they said, the opposite has happened. What are we doing here? And on top of this, we still haven't gotten the games. If Xbox was perfect, if they were a great company, they were doing everything that they've said they're doing, and we've still we're waiting for games, okay, everything's fine and dandy. I get we're waiting for games. But the problem is, that's not happening. They are and I hate to say it, Xbox is still my favorite. They'll probably forever will be my favorite. But they suck. They suck right now. They suck, dude. Like, I hate to say it. I'm sorry. But they low-key suck right now. Like, sorry, guys. I just broke Austin. I broke Austin, bro. They suck, dude. Like, bro, somebody needs to soundboard that. I hate to say it, but they suck, bro. Like, I can't defend them.
Oh,
They quite frankly, and this is coming from one of the biggest Xbox defenders and fans ever. They almost have nothing going for them right now. They have nothing going. Okay, we have Fable, Doom, and games coming out next year. We don't know the fate of those games. And unfortunately, the whole prediction is, are they gonna go third party? Are they gonna get rid of Game Pass? We just don't know.
Are they gonna run at 60 FPS?
Like, we just don't know. We're at the point where, okay, we have games we're excited for, but everything else surrounding that is complete garbage right now. And I would say Game Pass is their only saving grace, but as much as I love Game Pass, I don't think first party's carrying that. It's all the indie games that get day one releases, all the monthly editions, all the third party day ones. It's not first party. Hellblade 2, I think, is a great game, but that is not worth Game Pass alone for a full year, as much as I hate to say it. And unfortunately, Game Pass is not sustainable. As much as we want to believe it is, it's just not. It's just not. If you think Ubisoft Plus is unsustainable, how about Ubisoft Plus, but you have to pay tons of studios, tons of companies to put your games on there, rather than just Ubisoft losing out on a couple extra bucks, paying for the full game. It's just not sustainable, and unfortunately, we are seeing that with the multi-platform approach. I do believe the whole reason we're going multi-platform is to keep sustainability alive for Game Pass. And quite frankly, we're at the point, I don't even know if Game Pass is the future anymore. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Xbox hasn't done anything terrible in the past, like, 2 weeks. They haven't, like, dropped any major bombshells. It's just me coming to a realization as of recent. The layoffs, that's terrible. Like, I don't wish any layoffs. I feel for everybody who got laid off. But unfortunately, that's just a common industry thing. Like, I saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh. But the problem was, it was just everything. And the reason that this whole thing clicked with me today is because I was listening to a podcast about the PS5 Pro and how much of a disaster that was. And then I go on to Twitter and I instantly see the layoffs. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There's nothing positive happening in gaming right now.
Except the games that are coming out.
Except the games. And unfortunately, people can't even focus on that. So
yeah, look at bro, Astrobot. I think low-key has in a lot of people's hearts right now is a very current recency bias game of the year contender. But or like game of the year winner is what people are saying. That game is getting hate. You want to know why? Because why not? Let's just hate on it. Oh, Mario Galaxy clone. Oh, you want to be Mario so bad. Oh, man, this is so overrated. Oh, my gosh, dude. Astrobot's such a, unremarkable character. Oh, it's copying everything. It has no uniqueness. Oh, because you don't think that and you think it's completely different. You're an Xbox fan, so your opinion doesn't matter. Oh, I saw a podcast of that. Oh, man. That like the fact that a guy was defending what he likes, and because he's mostly an Xbox fan, and he said Mario like Galaxy or 3D Marios are very different from Astrobot. The guy literally disagreed with him, and he was like, "You're an Xbox fan." And I was like, "That is insane. That is crazy to think. It's that like." It happens, but like that over a piece of plastic, bro.
I'm speaking to the entire industry when I say this. Nintendo, Capcom, Sega, and Take-Two. As much as I hate to give Take-Two credit, they just have it working. They have Borderlands, they have Mafia, they have NBA, they have WWE, they have Grand Theft Auto, they have all the things they need. They're killing it. But I say this to the entire industry, those four companies excluded. Please, for the love of God, stop and get some help. No, stop and take a look at yourselves, at one another, and ask yourselves, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? To the point where we are closing studios. We are driving this industry to the ground. If we keep laying off people at the rate we are doing, there is going to be a lack of interest to even get into the industry. If we keep doing this the way we are doing it, the market is going to collapse on itself. Because now we have consoles that are going way past the threshold of what we thought was going to happen. Obviously, inflation. It was going to get there eventually, but we're getting there now. It just happened. We passed the threshold. We have doubt that the console market's even going to be a thing after next generation, which is super scary to think about. We have IP that just makes no sense when there are IP that makes perfect sense that is dead. We have games releasing that are mixed bags that spend hundreds of millions of dollars on. We have games that are great that spend even more hundreds of millions of dollars on. When you have fantastic games that spend little. Now, every game is going to cost a lot, but like compared to Spider-Man 2, bro, you are a great game. I'm not holding that against you, but $350 million when Black Myth Wukong had a budget of $70 million. What are we doing here? What did you use that money on? Like, genuinely answer that question. What did you use that money on?
Wait a minute. Wait. You gotta be kidding me.
$70 million Black Myth Wukong budget. They've made $800 million in revenue. Yep. Final Fantasy. Square Enix, what are we doing? You're only selling 2 million copies. What is going on here? People genuinely need to stop and just look at what is going on around you. I said at the beginning of the podcast, everyone is so caught up trying to be GTA, trying to be Fortnite, trying to be Overwatch, trying to be Valorant, trying to be God of War, trying to be Resident Evil, that they're not focused on the thing that matters. You're not them. You're not them. I'm sorry. That is not the goal.
Like the meme says, you're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy, pal. Like, I just don't understand. You know, it's so funny. The games that are successful this year are the games that try to be what they are supposed to be. Black Myth Wukong, Astrobot, Stellar Blade. Just those three, in general, are perfect examples of what we are talking about. Why do we have things like Concord? Why do we have so many things that try to be? It's like they're trying to be a fail, Loki. It's like they're trying to be a flop. Like, look, I gave Star Wars Outlaws a 7 out of 10. I stand by that. I think it's just a good game. What are we doing though? Like, it is Ubisoft. You have this blew my mind. There was an interview with the game director for Star Wars Outlaws. And somebody asked him about the forced stealth missions, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I think that's pretty stupid as well." Why is it in your game? You're the director. Is this not something you notice? Like, I'm so confused what we are doing here. And I'll tell you what's happening. It's because Star Wars Outlaws tried to be something that it's not supposed to be. It tried to be a Ubisoft game. No, you need to be your own thing. You need to do your own thing.
If that's true, then I'm really starting to think that Mighty Keep video is factual. That's literally how it went down, bro.
It is factual.
Like, yeah. I say, how about we add stealth missions, but they last too long. No, now we're talking. That's what I like to hear. Bring them in. But like, what if we made a really compelling story, but like off the rip instead of just at the end? You're fired.
Yeah. Like, how hard is it to make a consistent game? Why is your first act garbage? Your second act, okay, and your third act, troll there. And this is completely on you, Ubisoft. Look, I defended you this year. I made a whole video about you trying to defend you, and I stand by that. And I stand by Star Wars Outlaws is still a good game.
Yeah.
But there's just so many questions from a business and creative standpoint. It's like, what is happening here?
Oh my god, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? The best Ubisoft game that people would consider in a while sold probably the least amount.
Oh yeah.
That's
It might,
First Person.
it might have even sold 1 million.
Yeah. Like, that's what's insane to think about.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. And unfortunately, all of these problems are completely escalated by the community. Twitter, social media. You know, my argument of things need to stop trying to be other things and be themselves. You can't do that when you have everybody comparing everything, making everything compete with one another, making complaints about every single thing. Like, you just can't do that, unfortunately. And it's just gotten to the point, and this is why, and this goes back to what I said, and I genuinely do believe this. I think this generation is probably going to go down in history as one of the worst generations, if not the worst generation. Not in terms of games, in terms of the industry.
yeah.
I don't feel like the industry has gone in any way, shape, or form in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's gone in a bigger direction. That does not mean better. It's gone in a more expensive direction. It's not better. It's gone in a more expensive direction. No. Tell me one direction that the industry has gone in this generation that is for the better.
Open world RPG. No.
You can't name one. Yeah. You generally cannot do it. And
I mean, but who's to say the next gen's going to be any better?
well, that's what I'm saying. Is people need to genuinely stop and look at what the heck is going on. Because gaming is killing itself.
I think it's a lot of factors. I personally, and I still stand by this, gaming budgets need to go down.
Yes.
And I stand on this statement because look at Nintendo. I know
Yep.
I shouldn't compare. Nintendo knows what they're doing. You want to know why? Because yes, they use cheap hardware. They don't use the most expensive, but it works. If they don't need to spend so much money on games, they make their profit back. They can sell 1 million copies and be perfectly content, while you have other companies spending maybe over $150 million. You have to sell like at least like over 5 million to potential, or maybe even 10. Like, I think I heard Spider-Man 2 sold 10 mil, and that's not going to cover all the costs for 350 million. That is insane, and that is crazy. Like, I feel like the fact that if a game gets over 200 million, what are you doing? Like, actually, what are we doing? Like, that is insane. Like, like, over $250,000 or $1 billion. Like, what are we doing? Like, you've got to chill out. You're not GTA 6. Like, you don't need anywhere close to.
And I know you said you hate to compare Nintendo, but we're talking about the industry as a whole here. So it's like,
Yeah.
they're a part of the industry. So you almost have to incorporate them into all this.
Yeah.
If you make the argument for any company outside of the four that I've continuously mentioned are doing fine. If you make the argument for any of them, oh, it's just hard times. Oh, it's just a transitional period. Why are these four companies succeeding in every way? If they can do it, everyone else can do it.
I'll tell you why. Nintendo, they have their own branding, their own recognition. They've literally stated that at the end of the day, if they could pick fun and performance over, graphics, that's what they're going to do. They're always going to do that. They're going to make sure the games are fun, whether they're not graphically up there in 4K resolution. It's going to be a fun experience. They're always going to offer you a fun experience. And even though the games are not to the highest quality, we still buy them. Why? Because they are fun. They are amazing. They are so good. And they also don't have years of promising you all of these things that you're not going to get. You know what they did promise you, though? Fun. And that is something they've delivered on over and over. Capcom.
I get your point.
So
I get your point about Nintendo. That's not why they succeed. Who made that decision? Who set those expectations for Nintendo? Management did.
Well, yeah.
That's why these companies are succeeding. Management. Mm-hmm. Nintendo succeeded because their management are making the right decisions. Let's not go for let's not go for graphics. Let's go for fun and performance. Yeah. Same thing with Capcom. Let's not try to just spend all our money on live service, whatever, like crazy stuff.
And let's just make goated games.
Let's just make the best possible games we can and use all our IP to our fullest advantage.
Yeah, Sega.
Let's just literally the same thing. Let's bring. They literally said let's bring back like pretty much all our IP, but in AA form. Like they are. It's management making these decisions. Meanwhile, you have PlayStation, who's like, let's make Concord. Let's spend $100 million on that. Then we'll give him Astrobot. We'll give him something actually worthwhile. And then we'll drop the PS5 Pro. Just decisions being made make no sense.
I'm going to be real with you. I think Herman Holst could be worse than Jim Ryan. I don't think he will be, but...
it's too early to say. Yeah, it's way too early to say.
Bro, he greenlit PlayStation, like, one of the biggest flops in gaming. That's already a statement.
Wait, who? Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, Herman Holst apparently greenlit Concord. He is the one that wanted Concord to happen, and the whole idea.
Oh, really?
And even purchase. I think even the purchase. I think he was a part of it. He wanted it. That's why he was glazing it, saying it was like. That's what I mean. You're starting off real hot, bro. You're starting off. Ooh, that's a tough one there, but. Jim Ryan did literally just say, "Hey, everything we were good at,
PlayStation,
let's stop spending the most money on it."
PlayStation, you guys have a serious greed and consumer issue right now. Xbox, y'all have a serious consistency and also business issue right now. Ubisoft, you guys need some serious quality control. You have a lot. You have some good games, but you are so inconsistent. It's unbelievable. Square Enix, you need everything. Jesus. You need
to go multi-platform, actually.
I don't know what Square Enix needs to do, but they seriously need. They just need to reset.
They literally need to go multi-plat on everything. Stop.
Yes, I agree.
Stop going exclusive deals with PlayStation. It's not working. It's literally not working. If it doesn't work, stop it. It's so stupid to keep doing something that hasn't worked. Just stop.
Yep.
There's no reason. I'm okay if a company or so has exclusive deals. But if they are not working every time you do it, then it just means people aren't as interested anymore, I guess. If Rebirth is barely breaking probably like 5 million. I don't even know if it's gotten there.
2 million. It's 2 million. It might be 3, but still.
That's insane. No, you gotta stop. You have to stop.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I can't believe it. 2 million. One of the
EA,
biggest franchises in the world.
EA,
for video games.
EA. I need to ask you a serious question, EA.
I think EA's doing. They're like in the middle.
Why? EA makes no sense to me. Your sports games are fine. Those do you well. People are stupid enough to give you $70 every year for them. Fine, great. But how come you release a live service game that flops, and then release a single player game that is so awesome and succeeds, and then you decide, let's go back to those live service games? Like, I just don't understand things sometimes. And it's not even an issue of creative control or anything. It's just a simple issue of, why are we not making the right choice?
Yeah.
There's clearly a right and wrong choice here. And everyone is making the wrong choice. Mostly everyone is making the wrong choice. PlayStation, y'all. I know we've talked about PlayStation a lot, and I feel bad we've hated on, but they're the hot topic right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, because they were the top dog.
Yep.
They were literally declared the perfect company.
They were the best place to play. They were the best place to play.
They were for the PS4 because you had the
Yeah.
Wii U and you had the Xbox One.
Yep.
Now, Nintendo. This is their generation. Nintendo won it free. There is no.
Oh,
competition.
there's absolutely not. No. And honestly,
There's not.
I don't think there will ever be a generation again where Nintendo is not at the top. Because with the way the prices and stuff are going, Nintendo's going to be the only one with common sense and actual like value behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, on the topic of that, PlayStation, where are your games? I know that's like a joke. Generally, that's like a running thing we keep talking about. But like,
They all got canceled for live service.
it's been 3 years since your last good showcase. What is going on? Like,
Well, if we're gonna be honest, I do think they all got canceled for live service. I do. I think they started the live service, and then now we're at a. Because look at it. How many job openings are up? How many games do we know are in development? Like, it's taken so long because of this period. I'm telling you, Jim Ryan has screwed. Like, I'm starting to really think the middle, or they consider it almost the end of the PS5's lifespan. What is it? Just going to be a really stacked, like end of the lifespan? Like, what do we? I don't understand PlayStation anymore. I think, in my opinion, I really do think at this rate they feel like they're in an Xbox One era, and the reason I say that is because nothing makes sense at all.
yep.
You have games coming out that they would never release, that they decide to release, that's horrible, that they greenlit, and they paid a lot of money for. You have a PS5 Pro, which they can't even advertise correctly. They can't even really explain to you why, and then they overmarket it because no competition and other stuff. You have studios which have stuff in development, but also did have other things, but then it got deleted because, we realized maybe live service isn't that good. Because think about it. Would we have gotten an Insomniac game like Wolverine faster if they weren't working on that live service? Would we have gotten who was working on The Last of Us multiplayer? Who was working on that?
Naughty
Was
Dog.
it Naughty Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, would we get Naughty Dog's game a little bit faster if they weren't working on that? I think it just set us behind, behind so much more.
Yep.
And I just think it's insane, just the amount of stuff that's going on at PlayStation. And it makes me the most upset because I bought a PlayStation. I will be honest, bro. If you're buying this console for first-party games, it is not there. The Xbox and PlayStation both have no games right now. And yes, I know all the people are going to sit there and be like, oh, but Helldivers 2, oh, but Stellar Blade. Are those really first-party games? They're not made by party in-house
I'm
studios,
gonna,
bro.
I'm actually, I'm actually push back a little bit. I do think, no, there are PS5 games. Like, I don't think. I don't think saying PlayStation has no. I definitely think like right now in terms of like 2024 standard, yeah, like they have no games. But like, if you bought a PS5, I don't think you would be completely upset. Like for me, I gotta play Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, and all
Yeah.
that. So like compared to Xbox, for sure.
I gotta,
Like
I gotta stop saying, because I already know the whole argument. Because anytime you say PS5 has no games, they just show everything. But I love how people lie and they're not first-party games. They are literally definitively not, because people want to lie and say second-party games are first-party games.
no.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't count, bro.
I-
1, 2, 3.
In my opinion, I think anything that's exclusive counts. I like that would help the value of PS5. Like anything being exclusive helps the value. But
Even if it's timed.
I mean, I think yes for the PS5 owner. Yes, I think if you already don't have a PS5 and you see, oh, it's a timed exclusive, I'll just wait. But if I already have a PS5 and they announce it as a timed exclusive, I'll be like, oh, nice, I get some more value out of it, you know. So I think
I just want to preference this. I already know I've literally done this so many times. I literally own a Switch, I own an Xbox, I own 2 PlayStations. I care about all these companies. I just want all of them to succeed. And I know after all that, even if you're here and you decide to watch all this, I know you may not believe me, but I promise you, I want every company to succeed. I really do, because then the consumers, we benefit more, and also they can benefit too, and that's what they want. But I'm sorry, I think it's a little insane how kind of 4 companies right now are kind of doing like everything almost perfectly, and then all these other ones, there's so many there's a lot of cracks. That is insane to think about. Nintendo, you could say, is almost perfect in some ways. There's a little bit of issues. Capcom, I'll be honest, man, besides maybe some misses on a couple of games that just didn't hit, where else are they really, like, besides maybe frame rate on a couple things? But it's just like maybe 1 or 2. Sega, putting out consistent titles, they're selling well, they're doing good, I mean, the last thing they had that was bad was that Hyenas game got canceled. That's about it.
and that probably would have been a flop. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
Hyenas probably would have been a flop. So I think that was a good thing, personally.
Yeah.
No one wanted a Sega first-person hero shooter. That just sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I think these companies got to start listening to consumers more. Like, I do think a little bit. I think they should listen to consumers more. But also, I don't think you should fully, like,
No.
give everyone what you want. But these game budgets got to go down. They really do. And this comes back to my argument of this whole hardware thing. I understand your idea of, yes, this hardware is not strong enough for the visions of these games. I attest an argument to that, because I don't think we're in a world yet where that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to get consoles that are strong enough for all this until the next gen. I think that's exactly what's happening. I think if that is the world we live in, then devs are going to have to bite the bullet and go backwards. It's like an impenetrable wall. If the companies will not do it themselves, then we have to go backwards. You can't push forward if there's a wall, an unbreakable wall in front of you. You can't go around it, can't go in front of it. You just have to go backwards. Like, I hate to say it, but it's like, if Xbox won't give us a console that's gonna be able to run a game at 60, then, like, because of all the things you're doing, like Avowed, if the graphics are the problem, then I'm sorry, I personally say cut the graphics back a bit if it's going to mean performance on it. Because if they're not going to give us the other option, even though there is another option, there is actually a way around it. And that is a PC. But that doesn't always mean everything. But also, do I want to pay like $1,500 for a good PC? No, not really. More 2,000 if you really think about it.
Let's be
I
honest.
just don't-
We've reached a point where genuinely, if you just wanted to get into gaming, it'd be so hard to justify recommending getting every console. Really, all you need is a PSC and Switch.
Yeah. Did you say a P? I thought you said a PSP and Switch.
No,
but
PC.
I misheard that. I really thought you said PSP and Switch. I was like, why would you need a PSP?
Like, the only actual PlayStation 5 exclusives now are Spider-Man 2, Astrobot. That might be it.
I mean, Stellar Blade.
Everything's on PC. So
But
that's on
that's
PC.
not. Huh?
Stellar Blade's on PC, innit?
No.
No?
No, it's not. No.
Oh,
No.
wow. Okay, well, then there you go. Stellar Blade as well.
People want it on PC. You already know why they want it, though.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, then there you go. Also
that-
Stellar Blade.
Yeah, it's planned to be on PC. They've
that
literally
makes
talked about it. Like they want it to happen.
But, like,
Helldivers is
I don't know, it's just... Honestly, bro, and this is why I say it. Literally, this is... I wish I could be more excited. GTA 6, dude, is literally, like... It's the most important game in history at this point. The fact that it's consoles only for almost a full year might just save the console market, low-key. Because Xbox sales have flatlined, pretty much. Not flatlined, but they have gotten very weak. PlayStation's getting there. GTA 6 might be legitimately the only genuine system seller for the rest of the generation. I don't know what else can come out that will tell everybody, oh yeah, this is why you need a PS5 or Xbox.
Minecraft 2.
Yeah, but knowing our luck, that'll also be on PS4 and Xbox One. Let me ask another question, EA. Let me ask another question. 1 year after release, let's decide to put this game on old-gen consoles, even though we barely got it running on newer consoles.
That is so funny. That's so funny.
Like, Star Wars Jedi had so many issues at launch, and it was struggling to run on the modern consoles. So, if I was EA, what would I do? Let's put it on the older consoles.
I'm wondering if
Like-
that was worth it. It probably wasn't. I wonder how much it sold.
Genuinely, I get it. Gaming's a business. But that is the whole reason all these companies are struggling, is because they just want as much money as possible. They do not care about the products or the consumers. They just want as much money as possible. That's really all it is. That's the root of all the problems. And so we get things like, even though it's probably going to run terribly, we might get a couple hundred more thousand sales on PS4 and Xbox One, so let's put it on there. They don't care about the reputation of it. They don't care about the score. They don't care about nothing. They just want money. That's all it is. And unfortunately, when something like Dead Space does not make as much money as something like, I don't know, Madden, we might have to second guess continuing that.
That is so stupid. You know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna say it. After you said, I'm pissed off. Like, I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm so angry.
Oh, you know what? Putting the burger down. All right, EA. Okay. Okay. Are you... Oh. So while Garbage Madden continues to exist, all right? Garbage franchise that literally barely changes, all right? Dead Space, since it only sold like 3 mil, and it didn't sell more than what you wanted, Dead Space 2 Remake and Dead Space 3 Remake doesn't exist. I hate you. I hate you for just... for even making a situation where that is even a thing. I don't care. Just... oh my god. Oh, dude, I'm so mad.
Rewind to like 15 minutes ago when Austin was like, EA's like neutral. Here he is.
Oh, but that... oh, this is... I forgot about that. I forgot we're not getting... You know what's funny? I don't even love Dead Space, but I know that is... oh, that is such a fat L. Like, oh, that is such a gigantic L.
Hold up. Did you just say you don't even like Dead Space?
No, I said I don't even love Dead Space.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I don't love it. Like, but I really enjoy it. But oh my god, that is one of the fattest L's I can think of for a game. Like, oh my god. Like, what? Like, generationally praised. Everyone loves it. Literally everyone on that. You know, Dead Space is another game. Low key, I wouldn't be mad at it if you came up to me and said, "Hey, what game would you recommend me?" If someone said Dead Space would be the first one, low key,
bro,
I'm gonna dap you up.
Low key, any survival horror game, low key.
Well, yeah.
Like they're just so simple, and because it's horror, they just have like such a thrill factor to it. It's like how can you not enjoy it?
Oh yeah, but then we get mad at.
Yep.
It's such a joke.
Like, I don't understand.
Oh my god, you know what's crazy? All the games I've liked from EA are getting canceled. Oh no, I hate EA. EA's trash. Nope, garbage.
What? Wait, hold on.
Knockout City canceled. Dead Space canceled. It's nice knowing you. What else we got? What's EA released?
I mean, Wild Hearts, that got dropped pretty quickly.
That was fun too, and then it got...
I mean, I think okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think your emotions just got the best of you because you can't even think of anything else. And I mean, you do have like Jedi games. We're getting a third one of that. We still have.
Oh, Titanfall. Where's that? EA.
Oh, don't even give me some. I hate EA. No. Golly, let me tell you something about EA real quick. All right, Apex Legends should never existed. I hate to say it, but it gives them so much money. That's all they care about.
Yep.
Screw you, EA, bro.
Yeah, that's just how a company, like, we literally have multiple Mr. Krabs in these companies. Like, sir, why did you build a second, Krusty Krab? I like money. Like, literally, that's
you know what I just don't understand is how you, if I was someone like EA, and I look at Nintendo and the success they're having, I look at Capcom, the success they're having, I look at Sega, but then I even look at something like Black Myth Wukong, and I see the success they're having. A $70 million budget sells it's probably like at 20 million now, 20 million units sold. And it did so well, and they've made so much money off of it that now they're doing expansions, and they're already working on a sequel. If your whole thing is all you want is money, there's a success right there. That's how you do it. You make a good game that you actually care about, that you let the studio cook. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. Yeah.
I blame live service games.
I mean,
I think that's a...
I don't. I just blame management. I just blame companies' managements.
I know. I agree. All we can do is hope it gets better.
The only thing you can do is rant on Twitter and hope they learn their lesson. That's really all you can do. Or you just
God, dude, something, dude, I want so bad in my heart, like, in my heart, I want it so bad for PlayStation just come out and be like, we've heard everybody's critiques and we have decided to lower the price. Even if it's by $50, just show us you're listening and you have somewhat of common sense and you're not just a money-hungry company, even though we know you are.
They're not
Like,
gonna do it.
no, they're not. But some, like, I want them to so bad. And then same thing with Xbox. I want them to just come out and low-key, even though it's gonna make everybody so mad, I want them to just rip the Band-Aid off and be like, for now on, all our games are gonna be timed exclusives. Like, I don't care what it is, but no matter what these companies do, they're all playing damage control. How can we put out something positive to make up for our net negative and then repeat the process, when I would rather them just rip the Band-Aid off and get the biggest negatives out the way so you can just focus on doing what's going to work for you instead of trying to play damage control and messing things up even more. Like, I get it, things going to other consoles in terms of Xbox, it's annoying for Xbox fans, but if that's how they have to stay sustainable, that's how they have to do it. Like, there's just no other way. Like, if they're not smart enough like Nintendo, if that's really the only way they can see it, let them do it. Because otherwise, we're going to get the same thing we keep on getting. 650 employees laid off. Tango Gameworks closed. It just... These companies need to just focus on what they are. A video game company. You guys are not a bank. You're not a real estate firm. You're not all these things that try to conjure up all these different ideas and business tactics.
You're not my lawyer in court.
Literally, like, just be a video game company. Holy crap. Like, is it that hard? Like, I find it so funny that, Loki, I'm throwing so much shit at Xbox this episode. I find it so funny you're considered the big three. You're in the big three of video game companies, publishers, and you don't know how to put out dang video games. What is going on here? Like,
I'm just hoping.
I don't get it.
Just hoping the games that they've announced hit. But I mean, I can name a couple I think are gonna hit no matter what.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Doom is gonna be a success.
Yeah,
There's no doubt.
yeah.
Like, it's 100%. But I'm hoping like Fable does good. You know, like I don't know, man. I completely agree. I know there's a lot of rambling. We may change our minds a little bit because everyone is not 100% right, or I usually don't like to really take everything seriously, especially when like people are upset or rambling, because then it's like you may not fully be in it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree, man. Like, I just think these companies, like, they've all said it differently. They look at the video game sphere their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, the reason they are in the situation they are is because they chose these decisions. They said that's what they think is best. PlayStation, Jim Ryan thought it was a good idea to focus on live service. That is what he thought, not what consumers thought and consumers wanted. No, like, it's the ideas and decisions that they make that they believe is right when it's not what the consumers want. That is where things are going wrong. It's the same with Square, like on Final Fantasy. Why is it not selling as well? Well, you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to exclusively make deals with PlayStation, where I can tell you now, a Nintendo fan, if you put that on a Switch, holy lord, that's an instant buy for most people on a Switch, bro. Like, there's a lot of decisions that are like...
It's just management.
Yeah,
all it is.
like...
That's all it is.
Like, you're thinking the
the industry is completely different from how other people see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why. Like, all these people, you hear these different reasons, and they don't match up with everyone. So why are they failing?
And
why are they doing bad? Because they're not matching up.
yeah, and let me clarify real quick. I'm not telling Xbox and PlayStation to just copy Nintendo. I'm not telling EA to copy Capcom. But there is clear, visible things in gaming that bring success. And there are clear and visible rights and wrongs with the consumers and the publishers and companies. What I'm saying is stop making the wrong decisions. Like, everyone's just so focused on the wrong things. And even outside of the business and company side of things, just players are so caught up looking at the wrong things, thinking and talking about the wrong things. That's why we can't have the not nice things. Like, honestly, I can't blame companies for being confused. If I put out Astrobot and I go on social media and see all this weird kind of just complaining and negative talk, I'm gonna be like, oh, so maybe it's not what they wanted. Like, honestly, I can't blame them sometimes. Like, oh, Ubisoft, we finally made a Star Wars game, open world, pretty much exactly what we said we were going to do, but everyone's pretty much hating on it to complete a bit abysmal. I guess we got to just not do that again. Let's just jump right back to Assassin's Creed, because apparently that's the only thing we can rely on. Like, it's a combined effort. It's a combined effort.
I'm a little worried for Assassin's Creed now. Not because of, like, its quality, because I think I've always thought it had a better chance of kind of being a better product than Outlaws, but I'm really scared for it, because I just think it's getting so much negativity, and it's just like, I'm just really scared for it. I want it to be good, but I'm just kind of worried that it's really not gonna do as well as I thought, because a lot of games do good with a lot of negativity on it, but I don't know. I'm getting really scared for Shadows. Like, I don't know. I'm just getting that bad feeling, because I think a lot of people are on that Ubisoft hate train, which I can understand why, but I think they are hated on way more than what they really should be.
You know why it's not going to do good? Because everyone's going to compare it to one game and one game only.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost of Tsushima.
No. And also politics.
Yep. I see it already. It's Ubisoft's attempt at Ghost of Tsushima. And boom, that's all the hate it needs. That's the only headline social media needs for it to just become a hate fest. It's Ubisoft's attempt at Ghost of Tsushima. All they need to see is Ubisoft's attempt. And boom, there it is. And majority of them won't even play the game.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Like, it's unfortunately just the persuasiveness of media and everything that it just, like, unfortunately, like, we're over here complaining and crapping on the industry. The industry can't function properly because nothing is stable. Nothing is working in a way that it should be. Media is corrupting things. Social media is toxic. Companies don't know what they're doing. Sustainability is through the roof. And inflation in just the whole world keeps going up. The industry can't even function with all these things. Like, honestly, I can't even blame, Phil Spencer. Imagine Phil Spencer leaves Xbox, and let's just say they come to some random guy and who just so happens to know a lot about management or whatnot, and they're like, all right, you're gonna be the new head of Xbox. You have to deal with all these first party studios that are making multiple games that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. You have to worry about media. You have to worry about appealing to your consumers. You have to worry about appealing to your higher ups. You have to worry about sustainability. You have to worry about your next gen console hardware and making that worth it. You have to worry about all these things. No wonder it's such a hard job. Because it's a war zone. Like that's all it is. But at the end of the day,
Phil Spencer, like it's not, because he's mostly playing a lot of hours on his Xbox.
yeah. Well,
That's gotta stop, bro. You gotta put that controller down.
yeah.
like it's time to clock in. Like clock out of that Xbox. It's time to clock into the office.
It's time to lay off more employees. Oh. Snap.
Oh,
Yep.
dang.
Yep.
Now I'm not even laughing no more.
Yep.
My happiness and laughter was there, and then it just I've never felt it disappear in my entire life. Because I'm like,
But that's
I
the
can't
truth.
laugh at that.
But think about it. That's exactly how gaming works. Oh my gosh, Astrobot, so fun. I love it. The very next day, PS5 Pros announced. Boom, all the hype is gone.
Yeah.
That's literally gaming in a nutshell.
Yeah.
One day we get something good, the next 5 days we get something bad.
Yeah.
Like it's just impossible for gaming to go a week without bad news. Like it's just impossible.
Well, yeah, I mean.
So.
Yeah,
But-
and then Annapurna.
Oh yeah, Annapurna. We'll see what happens. with that.
I'm so lost. I'm so lost. I don't understand it. Like I literally, this happened before we started. Maybe I saw it 3 hours ago. I literally, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought Annapurna was going up to be probably one of the best publishers. They had a lot of potential. They published a lot of good games. And what happened? I need to know what happened. I need more details. I really want to know what just happened. Like I'm lost. Like I've never been more lost in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either.
Like, okay, so what does that mean for, because they have like game studios and stuff, right?
No, they're a pub. They're a pub. They're
Okay,
an indie pub publisher. Jesus, I couldn't say that.
Okay.
They're an indie publisher, meaning they partner with studios, indie studios, to publish their games.
Yeah.
So pretty much, any studio that they were currently partnered with, now, as of right now, does not have a publisher.
Yeah.
So if a Stray 2 was in development, Stray 2 is gonna have to find a different publisher,
I'm kidding. I mean,
unless they somehow find a way to bring Annapurna back. But as of right now, they're like it's just unoperational, like unoperationable. How do I say it? Unoperatable. There we go. Is that right? I don't know. It's just bad.
yeah.
But look, I know this episode has been a lot.
shoot. Man, that's God. Yeah, like Stray, Neon White.
You know,
That's a Plague Tale.
bro, they have so many games. They have so many games.
Yeah.
A Plague Tale.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's
Focus.
focus. That's not Annapurna.
Oh, my bad. Focus Entertainment publishes a lot too.
Yeah, they do as well.
But oh, dude,
Uh,
I hope they're gonna be okay. Well,
Yeah. Well, you know, it's Remedy just partnered with Annapurna to do like movies and stuff too. For Alan Wake and stuff. So who knows about all that now?
Yeah.
But look, I know this episode's been a lot of negative and all that, but this goes back to what me and Austin had a conversation about 2 podcasts or 3 podcasts ago. Even though it might be hard, guys, just focus on what you love, the video games. Because believe it or not, with how bad the industry is, we are still getting great games. And that's what matters. Unfortunately, when you choose to focus on not those things, that's when the issues arise. So, just, Plucky Squire comes out in a few days. Excited for that. Dead Rising comes out next week. Excited for that.
Oh.
There's so much to be excited for. Just stay focused on that. And you know what's funny is, I'm going to seem like such a hypocrite and just so fake. But, the only reason I wanted to talk about this today is just because I literally just a chain of events that happened today. Does the PS5 Pro situation annoy me at all? No, really not. It doesn't really annoy me. Does Xbox staff and everything getting laid off, does it make me, hate gaming? It's bad, and I don't wish that upon anybody, but it's not, killing me on the inside. Mm-hmm. Does, Xbox announcing a game being timed exclusive, does that make me upset? No. When I go on Twitter, see everybody comparing and competing, does that make me upset? No. It's just, I feel for everything around it. I feel for the industry that has to deal with it. Does it affect me personally? I've gotten to a great point where I can avoid all the stupid Twitter stuff. I low-key start laughing at things because I've just gotten to the point where I just don't care so much that I just find some stuff funny. And so
I'm ready for next year. I'm praying things get better next year.
Yeah, it won't. I hate to say it. It just won't.
We'll see. Well, we will see, man.
Get better in what way?
I don't know. Maybe if these companies can get some dang good releases and stuff and get these games out, maybe they won't have any issues if everything's going golden for them. But it's never gonna be perfect. But I don't know. I think this year's just it's cooked, bro. We gotta get out of this year for these other companies. I think it's just time to go. I think it's time to get out.
Yep.
Need to get out of here and just focus on the future. And start making improvements to fix all the problems.
Yep. So. Low key, I will say, I think Xbox doing their next gen in 2026 is low key such a great move. If they wanted to do that, completely separate themselves from PlayStation in a way.
But we have to see if it's really gonna make sense, and this is what I'm scared of. I'm quite worried about Xbox. Really, they better come in with a strong plan, because if not, I don't know what is gonna happen. I'm gonna give a statement. I think Game Pass lasts 3 more years. Max.
I was going to say, at most, I think.
Yeah. I don't even know if Game Pass... I don't even know if Game Pass would survive till the next console. Well, no, it would. It would. But they'd probably test it out to see if it would, but... I don't know. I just don't see it being sustainable.
Here's my prediction. Here's my
Call
prediction.
of Duty and...
Here's my prediction. I think the next console is not gonna be an Xbox like we know. I think it's gonna be a Microsoft gaming device. I think it's gonna be able to run things like Steam. I think it's gonna be able to run other I think it's gonna be like the ROG Ally in a way. And then that's going to pair with their handheld. And because that's just been their whole plan all along. Is just they're trying to build an ecosystem, not a console anymore. That's just what it is.
That brings me to a short little topic I want to talk about.
Oh boy, here we go.
I saw a ton of tweets being like, "How can you be so upset at PlayStation pricing a console at $700 when it's actually $800 when there are handhelds that are priced at $600-700?" It's a PC gaming handheld you can take anywhere you want with you, and it's a PC that you all are literally praising and glazing. So how all of a sudden, it's mostly PlayStation fans, but like it's a handheld, and also it's a PC, but it's in a shorter device. It's gonna be harder to compact, so it's gonna cost more. That's like completely different. But I don't know if you saw that. People were like,
I did.
"It's crazy how people are mad at the PS5 pricing, but then you've got the OLED Steam Deck at $700." I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, is this really a conversation? Like, that's crazy. Like, what? I wonder why, bro. Like, I really do.
Yep. Dude, I'm telling you, and I genuinely mean this. GTA 6 is gonna be like, it's just gonna be so important. Like, it really is. I was listening to a podcast today, and
I would not be a part of it.
they made such a great point. GTA 6 isn't even just going to be the biggest video game of all time. It's going to be one of the biggest media events of all time. Mm-hmm. I could go to anybody and ask if they know GTA, and like I would say 90% of them would be like, "Yeah, I know what GTA is."
Well, I mean, it's also been in the news. It's going to be in the news.
It is.
I already see
like,
it. I already see it.
GTA is literally going to be like the biggest thing in the world. The week that game comes out, and it's only on Xbox Series X and PS5.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely, even though I honestly can kind of care less about GTA 6, I just like low-key, I almost don't want to buy it, and I almost just want to watch everything happen, like, cause it really is gonna be like a once in a lifetime thing, because like there's just never going to be a video game that's going to have the same like immediate impact as GTA 6 does. Like, no matter if we think the PS5 Pro is worth it or not, if they come out with a bundle, PS5 Pro with GTA 6, that thing's selling like hotcakes. Like, that's just how GTA 6 works. It's literally just like, the power GTA 6 has is stupid.
It's insane.
It is. Like, yeah.
What else could rival? I mean, Red Dead 3, but it ain't getting anywhere close to GTA.
And literally, whatever happens with GTA 6, you can almost bet money every company except Capcom, Nintendo, and Sega are gonna try to replicate that or duplicate that in some way, shape, or form, or get a piece of the pie. Like, every company, like, GTA 6 is going to set a new benchmark for almost every company, except companies who specifically don't make games like GTA 6. That's just reality. Even with something like Capcom and Sega, that might even set a benchmark for fidelity and performance, because GTA 6 is, like, you have to think, GTA 6 is going to be this generation's game for so many people. Like, 80% of the user base, GTA 6 is going to be this generation's game. Like, and it's crazy that I don't care. but here we are. Like,
man, keep it real, baby. Like, hey, if you all like GTA, that's fine. But I'm gonna keep it real. I'd get I'd get bored of that game in a week.
Look,
I'm just gonna
okay,
keep it real.
I'm not gonna hate on GTA. Like, I think GTA is phenomenal. I just personally don't have much interest in it.
I do too. I think GTA is perfect for what it does, but it's just not. I'm not the target audience.
Yeah.
I get bored. I get bored of a game like that in a week. It just is not. I've never had the urge to want to play it. I've seen it. I think it's fun to watch, but just playing.
Genuinely, like,
Do it.
genuinely, I think next year, the only thing that could even come close to having as big of an impact as GTA 6 is a new Mario game. That's literally the only thing I think that could have anywhere close. And not even then, I don't think it's even going to come close to
No.
the biggest. Like, everything else is just minuscule compared to GTA 6.
I forget how much did.
You would need a new Mario Kart, maybe, to even come close.
Yeah, but Mario Kart's not even broken 50. I think.
Yeah. Which, granted, okay, but that's the thing. It's like GTA 6. We're comparing it to GTA 5, which has sold over like 100 million copies or something like that. Yeah, that's over its lifetime, which is like over a decade now. So like, I'm thinking GTA 6 is probably gonna sell close to like 40 million next year. That's my guess, which is that's insane, by the way. 40 million copies.
It's really not.
Oh wait, no, it might not because it's only on consoles. It might sell less.
Yeah, but
It might
but
sell-
How many people are buying consoles?
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's so important. Like, low key, the industry, the day GTA 6 come out, the industry's gonna change. Like it just is.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario Kart would be the closest thing.
Yeah.
Apparently over 70 million.
Yeah, Mario Kart would easily be the closest thing, and even then, I don't think it's anywhere close.
Yeah.
Like, okay, actually no. As a whole, I think the biggest things of the year are going to be GTA 6 and the Switch 2. I think
Yeah.
I think those are the two things that like you do not want to compete with whatsoever, because they're just gonna have everybody's full attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Like, yeah, it's just like I can't even imagine how much money Take-Two is gonna make off GTA 6, dude. Like, oh man, what's gonna be even? Oh my gosh, holy crap! Oh my gosh, it just hit me. Can you imagine the industry-wide ripple effects if GTA 6 launches in a bad way, like it's like a flop, like to the point like where it's like a disaster, where it's like broken and it gets such terrible reviews? Can you imagine the ripple effects?
I mean, I don't see it happening because look at Cyberpunk.
I mean, yeah, I don't see it happening, but like, can you imagine though?
No, I can't because it's just not gonna happen. Because Cyberpunk was a prime example.
Yeah.
That game still sold phenomenally even though it was broken.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think Rockstar has had this in the pipeline for so long.
Oh yeah.
Like I like they definitely like they will delay it as long as they want.
Oh yeah.
They will
Because
like,
they can. Because
like
no matter how much they spend on it, they're gonna recoup it. Like,
yeah. Like there's rumors that they've spent like over $1 billion on it.
oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
which, I mean,
And they're gonna make hundreds of billions on it. Like, it's ridiculous, the power of GTA. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
You gotta chill out, bro. Like you're making it like GTA low key kind of a monopoly.
It is, but it is.
Yeah, I know.
A decade later, it came out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and it's still one of the most played games on the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
And it's still one of the highest selling games every month. Every month. Like, it low-key is. Like, I genuinely believe there is an argument to be made that Grand Theft Auto is the biggest gaming franchise of all time. I think the argument's there. I think your competitions is Mario, Minecraft, and Pokemon. I think those are your only three competitions. Or Call of Duty. Or Call of Duty.
I think COD and Minecraft.
If we're talking numbers, technically Pokemon is, because it's the highest grossing media franchise of all time. But
Fake news. Tetris.
No. Not in game sold. I'm talking like Pokemon is the highest grossing media for a franchise of all time. And it spans way outside of gaming. So I think the argument for Pokemon is there. But
So we're talking money. We're talking like
just like outreach, just like because Pokemon has TV shows, it has cards, it has games, it has collectibles, it has plushies, it has toys, like it has so many.
But who doesn't know Tetris?
I mean, true, but who doesn't know Pokemon?
I mean,
You're comparing a know-it-all to know-it-all. Like
best-selling games of all time. Let's take a look at this. Holy, okay.
I mean, it's Minecraft and GTA, no?
No, it's Tetris.
Really?
520 million.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Well, but let's be honest. If we went up to somebody and asked,
Well, that's also kind of cheating. It's
"What's more?" Oh, yeah, oh, oh my gosh, that's oh my god.
Hold
so
on.
many.
Arguably the most timeless video game, Tetris Company. The number includes sales across all available platforms, with the majority coming from mobile. 425 million.
But like, let's be honest. If you went up to like somebody and was like, "What do you think is the bigger franchise, Grand Theft Auto or Tetris?" They're probably gonna say Grand Theft Auto. The bigger franchise.
Tetris ain't a franchise.
The bigger game.
Actually, no, that's not true. They have Tetris.
Yeah, it is a franchise. If you ask what's the bigger game, okay, the argument's for sure there. But I think if you're asking what's the bigger franchise, they're gonna be like, they're literally gonna say exactly what you said. They're like, is Tetris even a franchise? they're literally gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean Tetris is bigger. I could go to my mom right now and ask her, what's GTA? She will know what it is, but not because of her finding out, but because I've probably been like, Mom, can you get GTA for me? But like, she knows Tetris. Like, she absolutely knows Tetris.
Yeah.
I don't even have to go to her for that. She's just like, oh yeah, Tetris. Back in my day, my husband played Tetris. I had to get him off the couch because he was a drunk. Well,
all right.
It's been interesting.
Yeah, I think that just about does it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to 4 hours because John hates me and likes Jordan more. But I don't blame him.
We went to 5 hours.
You guys need help.
No, me and you.
No, we're at 3 hours.
Dog, our last podcast went to 5 hours. I'm telling you.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wait, but we also like extended it because you like did it different.
Don't matter. We still did.
Everything.
It was still a 5 hour sit down, 5 hour live stream, bro.
I just saw your thumbnail.
Oh, it's a great thumbnail.
Jay would uploaded.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something about the PS5 Pro.
Dude, it is. Yeah.
Yep.
No, well, it's just like PlayStation. Yeah, it is. It literally is. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Dude, I love Jay. Jay Wood has to be one of my favorite like YouTubers. Like, I love him. I really do.
Bro's a freaking genius. Let me tell you.
I love that man.
I know. He's now you know why he's my idol, bro. He's literally everything I strive to be as a gamer, low key.
Yeah.
Like
Dang,
I
Johnny, I see you.
like I would turn gay. What?
The man's married, so you're screwed.
Perfect.
I'll steal him.
Yeah. That ain't gonna stop
Dude,
me.
that's crazy. You know, I respect you a lot, dude. Like the fact that when you were uploading stuff, you were like, I have some ideas in the back pocket that I know is gonna pop off. You were like, this Black Myth Wukong tier list video, I know it's gonna pop off. Look at it.
Oh, yeah.
1K.
Yeah, I didn't gain any subscribers from it though, unfortunately.
It's 'cause
Yeah,
all
I've
the
kind of reached like a I gained a subscriber. Literally, I gained one. But like, I've reached like a really slow period. Like I haven't really gained many subscribers, but that's all right.
It's because everyone's done getting they're off the internet. They're like, I'm tired of this.
But yeah, I know it
Negative.
did do well though. It did do well.
Yeah. Hey man, just wait. Just keep going at it. You
I
know,
know.
keep doing your thing. Just
My reactions do the best, and there's not anything
Well,
to
yeah.
react to, unfortunately.
well, yeah, because you're getting them out so quickly.
I know.
And like before a lot of other people because they're gonna like edit it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's like, oh dang, like there's not many reactions, so I guess I'll just do that first. So.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for the games to come out, man. That's all I
Oh,
really.
that's what I was gonna say.
That's all I can really focus on, because that's just what makes me happy is when good games come out. That's all I ask for.
What I was gonna say is, PlayStation, if you're listening, if there is any time,
They are not.
no, they're not. Wow, you know what? You could at least, yeah. Wow, supportive over here.
I'm sorry, bro. They are not listening to this.
Look, okay. In spirit,
Herman Holst, if you are in this
in
chat,
in spirit, PlayStation, if you can feel me, all right. If you
no,
if you can sense
Herman
my
Holst.
energy right now.
Herman Holtz just types in the chat, be like, "Oh, I've been listening," and I don't care. Concord 2 will be available in
Concord
2037.
2. Concord 2 will. Bro, what accent does that man have?
He like I said, he like
Concord
talks
2
his-
will. No, I sound Japanese. What am I doing? Hang on.
Yeah,
Never mind. I don't know. I'm gonna just stop before I get canceled.
you first stop.
But anyway, like I was gonna say, if there is any time for PlayStation to announce Ghost of Tsushima 2, now is that time. You need a freaking saving grace right
Nope.
now.
No, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna wait till next year. They're gonna let all. Oh my God! No! Don't. Not right now. No, I disagree. Because when they release it, all the hype's gonna die because they're gonna release something negative. They're gonna say something bad.
Yeah, freaking Fair
No.
Games is gonna release right before it.
Yep. Oh, see that? No. This year needs to end. This year needs to let everything come out this year that's supposed to come out. Everything else, I don't. Stop. No more. Like I'm telling you, this year I think for video games is good. I think overall though this year sucks. I think this year's garbage.
Oh yeah.
I think in certain areas I think it's good. The
I
gaming
think.
industry-
I mean, honestly, I think even
So-
outside of me and you's opinion, we've already talked about. Me and you personally have a lot more games this year that we've enjoyed over last year.
Yeah.
But I think
but we can-
I think in the general opinion, I think even in terms of games, this year is weaker.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah, and also just the gaming industry's more cooked this year.
it's garbage this year.
But you know what industry's not cooked
Unless you're
this year?
game science, you're
Yeah.
booming right now.
Yeah.
Business is
or if you're
business is good.
or unless you're a pocket pair, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, they had a great one too.
You know, I just you know what industry isn't cooked this year? the music industry.
No, here we go.
Golly, I could go on forever.
No,
about
the music
that.
industry is
But-
because the Billboard Top 100 isn't the actual Top 100, bro. Like, I swear to God.
And
Number 1 and 2 should have been swapped. Travis Scott should have had number 1 over Sabrina Carpenter. Have you not seen all that drama?
no, because I think it's stupid.
Okay.
What was it for? Like the best single? What was Travis Scott's song?
No,
It's
it,
not.
it was the albums. Or Travis's mixtape, but they consider mixtape albums even though they're not albums. But it was Sabrina's album versus Travis Scott's mixtape, and technically Travis Scott's mixtape sold more, but for some reason they delayed the top 100 for like the week by 2 days, which they haven't done in over like so many years. And then they gave Sabrina the number 1 spot, even though then Travis afterward came out and showed proof that he sold more than Sabrina, so the whole top 100 was like factually wrong or something, and they specifically delayed it to not have Travis at number 1 for some reason or something. I don't know. I don't really know all of it. I didn't really pay that close attention. I just saw it and I read. I'm like,
See,
I don't even know.
I don't care about critics in music because they literally are. I'll be honest with you. I think I've come to realize this. I think critics and these companies and stuff, they hate Travis Scott, bro. Like,
Oh yeah,
bro, look at the Grammy. Bro, they gave Cardi B a Grammy
I know.
for best rap album over Travis Scott. Cardi B. Like, that is insane. No, when I saw a video, I felt so bad for that guy. Like, because I wasn't into him that much, like, music-wise, but I remember the video that came out where he was like, he was mad.
Oh, yeah,
he
he
was
was-
so upset. Because, like, he said he poured his heart into it.
Well,
He
yeah,
poured, like,
he knows he
everything.
had the best album that year, and they gave it to. Invasion of Privacy.
I don't remember the rest of the albums.
I'm talking through his perspective. I'm not talking like my.
Oh.
I don't know the albums that came out that year either. I'm just saying like, in terms of the nominees, like he should have won that.
Let me see.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, you're saying through his eyes? Like,
Yeah, like I don't know what the best album is. What I'm saying is he should have won it, and he even knows that. Is what I'm saying. Like he should have won the Grammy.
what number was it? There's been so many The Grammys are garbage, though. They're
Yeah.
literally terrible. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he probably should have won. I mean, yeah, probably. Dang. God, that's so crazy. Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy over Astroworld. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, looking at the album list, I would say so. Because I don't know any of these other, like, if it's a popularity contest, I think it's crazy, but that's insane. That's crazy. And then my boy got robbed. Alright, I gotta stop. Low-key, guys, screw video games. Video games suck. Why would I do a video game channel? Music channel coming out. Gonna be reviewing all sorts of music. Gonna be doing my thing. You know, because
Fact.
music is number one form of media. It's the greatest thing to ever be invented. I don't care what anybody says.
I completely agree. That is why tomorrow I have a video coming up. 5 new IPs coming out in gaming. Yep. Anyway.
And they're all from me. Low-key, brother, it's time to make a gaming studio. It's time to change the gaming universe. We're gonna make the next
The
we're gonna
gaming
make
universe.
we're gonna make the next GTA, but not GTA. But it's gonna sell like GTA.
What is it gonna be called?
Oh dear God. It's gonna be called that. That's a pretty banging
We should
title.
call it.
Yo, have you heard of that famous game called Oh Dear God?
All right, I'm gonna say this, and it's kind of like a reference to something. So I don't know if you'll get it. It's pretty deep. Like there's a lot of layers to it. This is what it should be called. Sorry. Yeah. Like it should be called Pickle Blasters. Oh, dude. Oh. Did you get the reference?
Shut up.
Oh, you'll love to see it. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. What a waste of time. All right. Well, anyway. But no, on a note, if you guys are watching, tomorrow morning, new video is out. Kind of how we looked at 5 upcoming indie games. We're going to be looking at 5 upcoming new IPs. And yeah, should be interesting. But anyway. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Johnny Moore out. Peace.